Yo, what is going on, everybody? We are doing an anime tier list, the shonen slash action anime. So it is going to be a little interesting. Hopefully, not too many hot takes. Hopefully, you guys agree with us on some of this stuff. But we have quite the selection here. I'm very excited. We have our tiers: God tier, S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, and just never seen. But some of these that we haven't seen are on the watch list. They are very good. A lot of these are phenomenal, which is why we had to erase some of the bottom tiers because not many are to go to see, but not as many are also going to go into God tier. We're going to try to be as unbiased as possible with these. At least for me, my kind of criteria, I'm looking for a lot. You know what I mean? I'm looking for, the story, the characters, the animation, the fight scenes. It's not just one thing that is going to be able to carry it. So I'm going to try to be a little unbiased, and I think we're going to switch back and forth. I'm going to start with one, Blake's going to go to the other one, and we're both kind of going to give our opinions and kind of whatever the middle is. So if we both agree on a tier, we'll put it there. But if Blake says it's A tier, I say it's B tier, we'll probably put it somewhere in A. We'll try to find that common ground of where we can sort these. So, Blake, you want to start with the first one?
First one. All right. It'll be interesting to see how people agree or disagree with this as well. I'm excited to see.
Yeah, we're also going to look at the community rank at the end and see what people did. Even though their tiers are a little different, we'll see.
All right, cool. So we're starting with Assassination Classroom.
Dude, a classic, such a good one.
Very good. This was one of the first animes that I started watching like off. Maybe not one of the like more popular ones or lesser known ones. Like I just kind of dove into it with my brother. Really, really good story. Like kind of gets away from some of the common tropes, I guess, as far as like classroom storylines go.
Yeah,
Koro Sensei, outstanding character, and the way the kids kind of come together and get like more intelligent and
to
stuff
try to
was fun to
kill him.
watch too. Yeah, basically just trying to kill your teacher, very relatable, I'm sure.
Yeah, I thought it was a phenomenal idea of like an anime, and everyone kind of
Mm.
just like ignores it or kind of brushes past it because he looks a bit weird. That's something you kind of have to like overcome his look, his appearance, because it is a bit strange. But like when you get into this anime, it is so good. So, what's your
And
initial kind of placement of it?
I would say probably A tier. I
A
kind of want to
tier.
put it in S, but I have to see. I would say either S or A. Because really good story. The animation's good. I feel like the characters are good. Koro Sensei's laugh is hysterical. I can still hear it today. um, I guess I'll go A. I'll try and be judicious with some of my picks.
Yeah,
Are
I
you
think
feel like it's an A or an S?
so. I'm kind of in the same boat with you. I think the story is really good. I think the characters are amazing. You really kind of fall in love with each and every one of them. You kind of see their own strengths and weaknesses because it's all about killing your teacher, but becoming assassins and using the skills you learn as an assassin to succeed in the real world. And it actually is really cool. It's a great idea. The idea of it is phenomenal. The fight scenes are incredible. Some of the stuff was just sick. Professor Bitch is my favorite. So I think it had a lot of comedy. It had its moments where like towards the end, dude, it hits hard. And a big thing for me when we're looking at these animes is consistency. So not only did I have a great season 1, but an awesome season 2. I think trying to get past his appearance is a bit weird at first. It's something that kind of steers people away from it like initially, but I'd say high A, low S is where I'd put
Uh,
it.
Agreed. I like that. I think
So
that's very fair.
where would you want to put it initially, and then we can shift as we go.
I guess I'll start with A, and then we'll see how like the A column kind of fills up, and if we need to maybe readjust some of them.
Got it. Sounds good. Next is Attack on Titan. This is going to be a bad one. I'm so sorry, boys. Listen, I think it's a phenomenal story. I really do think it's a great story. It's a great idea, but I think the characters, I did not fall in love with them. It wasn't an anime where I was like, oh my god, I absolutely adore these characters. Like I go to war with them. You know what I mean? Like with Assassination Classroom, I really got like that connection with those characters. Attack on Titan, I did not. I think the story is really good. The animation's solid. The fight scenes are badass. Levi is sick, but not being able to connect with a lot of characters, I think, was a problem. Not being able to understand the main character until the very, very end, I think, is a bit problematic. You don't want to see that with your main character, but maybe the main villain. I think it was completely stretched out, so that wasn't fun. I mean, even Attack on Titan diehard fans were frustrated with this anime. I think it has done a ton for the community, both awards wise and recognition wise. If you don't know anime, you probably know Attack on Titan. So, it has that prestige, that recognition, but honestly, there's a lot I'd pick over it. So I'd say initially I'm gonna place it in B. What do you think?
I think that's perfect. So like I was a huge hater well in the first season, big giant naked invader people was not the move for me, but season 2 was good. Like the female Titan kicking some ass and killing some people. I'm like, all right, this is worth investing in, but I did feel like the story was a little drawn out, and maybe it's because like you don't really get to connect with Aaron and the whole like
Exactly.
premise of his plan until the very, very end, which I thought was like a really cool plot twist. I thought the ending was frustrating in some ways, but um, I don't know. I kind of empathize with Aaron. I would have liked to see him, carry it out, but
Well,
maybe
like
I'm a little crazy there.
here's the thing that I kind of find funny is that like first of all, I this is a little bit spoiler, so if you haven't seen it for some reason, you might want to skip a little bit ahead. Um, I think I hate the hypocrisy of it. I think everyone's like, oh my god, Aaron's committing all this genocide and war crimes, but like so did like 9 other characters in this anime. Like none of them are good people.
Yeah,
Annie, the female Titan, slaughtered everybody, got crystallized, came out, and everyone's best friends with her now. Like Armin's in
totally
love with her.
cool.
Like it was just such bull how some characters did awful things, and everyone's like, "Oh, we're still all best friends, and this is still great." I thought the character development with a lot of characters was bullcrap. I thought like a lot of that was like really stupid, and like the funniest thing that I loved about the ending is when Aaron told us that he was the one that got his mom killed because everyone who was like team Aaron and be like, "Oh yeah, this is great. Like if my mom died in front of me, I'd burn the world too." But it's like Aaron killed his mom. So like your whole argument that like you'd do that, it just completely went out the window.
Shattered.
Yeah. So we're putting him B tier.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Awesome.
And it did a lot for like anime, you know what I mean? Like you said, a lot of non-diehards or non-anime fans probably know it. So like I can always respect that, you know what I mean? Brings a little attention to the art and the community. And it is a pretty good story. So if it's something that brings people, on board or to watch anime, that's definitely cool with me.
Yeah, like the thing is, there's respect there for it. We respect it, but like so many of these animes, I'd watch over Attack on Titan easily, and I'd recommend
Agreed,
some of
yeah.
these animes over Attack on Titan. An anime that is not on here, which I probably should have added, but too late. That I recommend over Attack on Titan is 86. 86 is the same premise, except it's one season.
Ooh,
I fell in love with the characters. I was actually attached to them. Better action scenes, in my opinion, and just overall, it was just a better experience. And again, you're doing it in one season. So whenever I recommend, I get a friend in an anime, and they're like, "Oh, dude, what about that Attack on Titan anime?" I'm like, "You need to watch it at some point because it is that kind of anime." But I recommend 86 first because you can get through it in 12 episodes. You'd be like, this is phenomenal. And then you can move on to the next one. You can get that more variety out of the out of anime. So yeah, I definitely do not
very
recommend
true.
this one to people. But next we have Black Butler. Have you seen
Black
this one?
Butler. I haven't. I heard it was really good. A couple buddies, and they're really into like battle, like typical shonens, the battles and stuff. So I haven't seen Black Butler, but they did not recommend it. But I've seen a lot of good
Oh,
things
really?
online, so I am interested to hear your take on it because
I
I
haven't seen it. I put it
I
in
have an
never
idea,
seen.
but I have a large like all my friends have a bias against it, so it's tough to know like how good it really is. You know what I mean? But I
Hmm.
haven't seen it myself.
I'd say this. So I'm putting it in never seen because I haven't seen it either. But I heard great things about it. Apparently people like I know Blake can't see it, but this guy right here, this I think he's the Butler dude. A lot of people are saying that he's just like the guy from the time he got reincarnated as a slime. I really like that guy, and if they're giving off the same vibes, I think that this could be a really cool anime. Everyone's freaking out because the new season is coming out, so chances are I will be watching this anime when the new season drops. So just right now it's a
Nice.
never seen, but this is actually on the watch list.
Yeah, we'll have to catch up and maybe get locked in for season 3 there. That would be a
Yeah,
good excuse to add it to the list for sure.
exactly. We have Black Clover next. This one actually, I love
Oh
this
yeah.
anime. So
Black Clover rocks,
where
dude.
would you put it? What are your opinions on it?
So the first thing I think that comes to mind is like there's a lot of lovable characters, there's really good comedy. I like the way the world's built and like the abilities are a little bit different. Like Julius Novachrono's like I forget what his like the time ability.
Yeah.
That was like super badass. I really like that.
How's
Captain
Grimoire?
Yami,
Didn't have a
obviously.
cover.
Yeah, yeah.
That was
Like I don't
sick.
know, stuff like that was very creative, and I think it's easy to like reuse magical abilities or whatever, or just slightly change stuff. But I think there's a lot of like uniqueness into it, a lot of good like side characters. It's not just all about like Asta and Yuno and Yami. Good villains. I think the pace is a little slow. I think there's like 300 some episodes, maybe
Yeah.
400 almost. So that would be a little bit to
270.
digest. Okay, so not that's not bad. Tills 270 is like a good bit to watch, but I
Hmm.
think there's enough there that you would obviously enjoy it, and it does keep pace even if it gets a little slow at times.
Um, I love this anime. I think it's a lot like Naruto. I think Black Clover and Naruto are kind of like yin and yang in a certain way, where like Naruto seems to be very childish, but then you watch and like, oh, this is very kind of adult like. It's very emotional. It's very, it has a lot of depth to it, a lot of insane scenes. Whereas Black Clover seems to be more adult like, but it's actually way more childish, and that's actually my only problem with it. I think it did things better. I think that what's really cool, instead of the teams, you have the kind of the squad, so like the Black Bulls, and dude, those are so sick. I love all of them. I think the
Yeah.
Black Bulls themselves are the best. You know, the Outcasts. I think that that's so sick. These side characters are amazing. It's one of those animes where it's this big universe, and you end up loving all of these characters. Um, I think there's a lot of great action scenes, but my only problem with it is that, like I said, it is like it looks adult, but it's more childish. You know, you don't have those death scenes. You know, Julius, in my
Mhm.
opinion, should have died, but since he didn't, it's like, well, you know, you just know no one's gonna die. You know that like it's easy to expect things from it. Um, so because of that, I think it's a really good anime. But since it doesn't have that hitting like Naruto does, I can't rate it as high. Like you said, there are moments where it is a bit slow. Now it is really starting to heat up towards the end, or where it's
Mhm.
at right now. But yeah, I don't know where to put this. Where was your initial kind of idea?
My initial reaction was B. Like, I feel like if I'm going to put Attack on Titan in B, I should put Black Clover in B.
Oh, before Attack on Titan or after?
I was just putting them after, like, sequentially. I would probably take it. I like Black Clover more, but I would probably go as far as more important, Attack on Titan.
Got it, got it. More important, Attack on Titan. So I'd say that like I actually recommended Black Clover to my buddy before Attack on Titan, and he actually loved it, and he's binging the whole
Nice.
thing. So that's why for me, I'd probably put it before Attack on Titan. But since you're saying after, I'm going to show Attack on Titan the respect. We're going to put it after. So it's Attack on Titan, then Black Clover. And
Just this one time.
I'm just realizing this now too. Uh, Akame got kills not on here. Probably should have added that, because that is another thing I recommended to my buddy without any warning. I'm just like, hey, you should check out this anime.
Oh, you demon, you.
He's like, dude,
You
everyone's
got to see.
dying.
Yeah, you got to see how he processes those consequences. That's definitely good on you. Good on you, throwing him into the water.
Dude, you got to show him how like impactful anime can be, where you just fall in love with the character and then it's like, oh shit, that they're dead. Like now they know what a
Yeah,
backstory is. Now they know the PTSD anime fans get when we start to learn about a character. Because we're like, no, no, don't show me their past life or how they were in the childhood. Like that's it, they're dead. So honestly, Kami got killed. If it was on here, I'd put it at S. But
absolutely.
it's not on
And
here.
that was
But
one of the first anime too, where you're like, because I was really used to like Naruto or like DBZ, where like a character might die, but you bring them back, or like they
yeah,
come back in a few episodes, but yeah, that hits hard. That's got to have a lot of emotion, and like you were saying earlier, it helps you, I think, stay attached to the characters in the anime a little longer.
yeah. I mean, like, and the characters were so amazing. The story is so amazing, and like, you know how good it is when people find out that Jujutsu Kaisen is kind of inspired by Akame ga Kill, and all the fans were like, "Oh no, get the
Yeah,
tissues, boys. It's gonna be a long couple years."
exactly.
All right, next one, Bleach.
Ah, dude, love Bleach. Um, it is paced. I think it is the worst paced show, despite being a huge fan. I think the pacing for it is the definition of dog shit. The first like arc, I want to say, is like maybe 40, 30 to 50 episodes. And that's kind of a big jump. But I think there's like 700 some episodes, not counting Thousand Year Blood War. there's a lot of really badass characters. Like the captains are all really cool, very cool, unique abilities with the Bankai. I hated Ichigo at first because it took him like hundreds of episodes to like, get some strength, and start flexing. Um, Very good, very great fights. The Ulquiorra fight is like timeless for me. Just gives him the curb stomp and like blows him away. That's cool.
Yeah.
But like right before that, he has like 50 episodes struggling with Grimjow, who's like significantly weaker. So some of that stuff kind of bothers me. Aizen, excellent villain, crazy ending. But I don't know. Like this wouldn't be something I would suggest to like a casual or somebody's like, oh, give me like one of the big three to get into. Just because it's so long and there are a lot of fillers.
So where would you rank it then? Because I haven't seen it, so this is all on you. No pressure.
I would say I like Naruto more. I would probably put it in A because it's one of the big threes, but like watchability, even as like a younger teenager, I was like, damn, this is dragging on. Some of those arcs are like pretty meaningless. I feel like it's a B show, but the personality or the personal connection in me wants to give it an A, but like
So bottom
I think
of
it
A,
is a little too long.
the top of B.
I'm gonna say top of B.
All right, so B tier
And
is.
then,
Oops.
that's so hard. It's so hard to pick. I don't know. I think I should go B. I think that's fair.
So B tier right now is Bleach, Attack on Titan, and then Black Clover.
Dude, are we gonna get lit up for this?
No, you are. I'm not. I didn't watch it.
I do love Bleach, but like, and then like the Thousand Year Blood War, I think fixes a lot of those issues. The animation is amazing. The pacing is way faster.
But the
Almost
problem
a little
is you have
too
to
fast.
watch hundreds of episodes to get to that point. You know what I mean? I get where you're coming from with that though.
A little too much work for the reward compared to like maybe Attack on Titan or Naruto. So that's why I would give it a B. Still very big fan though.
Oh,
Got
wait.
mad love for Bleach.
So are you putting Attack on Titan before Bleach?
Personally, I go Bleach.
Okay,
first.
so B is then Bleach, Attack on Titan, and then Black Clover.
Maybe that's just my personal
That's
preference,
good.
but
Hey, that's all you, man. All right, next one's Boruto.
ooh, all right. How do you feel about Boruto?
Okay, here's my honest opinions on it. So I diehard Naruto fan. I mean, I watched anime before. I was like, all right, anime's sick. This is all right, cool. Watch Naruto. I'm obsessed. I've been binging anime ever since. Like it is a drug. Like I can't get enough of it. So Boruto's tough. I haven't seen it, and I will never see it. So I'll say this: I feel like if Naruto never existed, Boruto would be a solid anime. I think it'd be solid. I think that they just screwed up with going into the future of Naruto. If you wanted to continue in the Naruto universe, you should have went into the past, where you can protect what you created with Naruto. I feel like Boruto, the only problem people have with it is that it disrespects everything that Naruto created. You took a guy. Well, first of all, the designs of the characters went to shit. You took a guy who had nothing, had this horrible backstory, but just never gave up. Just kept going, kept growing, kept trying to get stronger to finally become the Hokage. And then, like, you see in Boruto, he's the Hokage, but, like, now he's miserable. Now he doesn't have a smile anymore. Now he can never spend time with his family when we knew that all Naruto wanted was a family. So it's like you took everything in, like, you kind of just showed him Boruto that, like, when you succeed, then you're just gonna be miserable. Like, Naruto is happier when he had nothing and when his life kind of, like, sucked. So, like, I think Boruto really kind of just, like, shit on the image of Naruto, and that's why people have a problem with it. But I feel like if Naruto never existed, Boruto would actually be a decent anime. Like, people, like, it'd actually be pretty solid.
Very fair points. I'm going to say two things. The fact that Naruto is like a timeless legend, like he's up there with Goku and all the best, right? We really let this man grow up and gave him a terrible haircut as an adult.
Yo,
Sasuke's got some drip. He's like blacked out. Naruto got the worst haircut in anime, bro. That is not fair. That
dude,
is
same
not
with
fair.
Gaara, too, right?
Oh, they murdered my boy. No style. He went too hard with the gel. Too hard with the gel. How could you do Gaara like that?
Dude, 106 is not there anymore.
And I will say, I think it's Studio Pierrot or however you say that.
Yeah.
They animate Thousand Year Blood War, and I feel like they put a lot more time into that than Boruto. So like some of the animation is pretty fucking awful, but there
Is
are
it?
moments when it's pretty good. Yeah, I think it's like fucking terrible. But like the fight between Ishiki and Naruto and Momoshiki, Naruto and Sasuke, they have like really, really high end animation. So there are some good moments in there. Um, the anime, I wouldn't give rave reviews, but like I read the manga and some of that, like it definitely picks up. So I will say there's promise there. I won't bail on Boruto, but I'm kind of with you. I feel like they disrespected Naruto. And like we were talking about this yesterday, but like deadbeat dads like always have strong sons. It's like Naruto does kind of end up being not maybe an absent father. I
No,
won't give
he is though,
him.
but like that's the shitty thing. He shouldn't be because we know like if this was like real, like Naruto would be such a great dad. Like he would never.
Yeah,
Like this isn't Naruto. That's the thing that's annoying. You know what I mean? Like you nerfed Naruto and created him into something else just to benefit Boruto.
let that man fight for a living. Don't have him behind the desk doing paperwork. There's somebody
Exactly.
smarter in the village. You know what I mean? Shikamaru or somebody can do that for him.
Exactly. So, but here's the thing. Well, I'm not going to grade it because I've never seen it. How would you grade Boruto if you ignore the aspect that it shits on Naruto? Like, if you're going to grade Boruto like Naruto never existed, how would you grade this anime?
I would say up to now, I'd give it a C. There hasn't really been too much. Those two fights between Naruto, Sasuke, and Momoshiki, and then Naruto and Ishiki, I thought were awesome. They were a lot of fun. Baryon mode is badass, but you see it for like a couple minutes in one episode, and then the nine-tailed fox goes away. So part of that is emotional, but like I know it's to build the story, but those are really the only moments that stuck out to me so far.
So, kind of what you're saying
So I would say.
is that Boruto right now is like the series of Boruto hasn't started yet. It's pretty much we're still getting rid of Naruto before we start Boruto, and that's how it's been.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. I'd give it a C now, but I would say don't sleep on it because after the time skip, there's a lot of really cool plot points. I think that would be worth watching or checking out, and hopefully, um, they give a little love to the animation too because we know Naruto fights can be top tier. So I'd like to see a little more of that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Next is Bungo Stray Dogs.
Never seen, bro. I
Never seen
am
it. All
asleep.
right.
Asleep at the wheel. I've only ever heard like awesome things about it though. I feel like it's one of those like cult classics. Everybody kind of loves it.
I'm gonna have to put it in S tier.
S tier,
Our
let's
first S
go.
tier. It is that good. My friend suggested it in the worst way possible. She's like, "Oh my god, you should watch this anime. It's about literature. It is so good." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." And then I like stumbled upon it on my own, and I was like, "This anime is awesome. It's about a bunch of dipshits that are just detectives, and it is sick." One of them wants to kill himself the entire time, which is hilarious, but it's done in like the most funniest way. Like you meet Dazai as he's trying to drown himself in the river, and he gets rescued. So they go to this like tea house to like have some like food, and Dazai's looking at the steel beam, like at the like support beam. He's like, "That could support me. I could hang myself on that."
Yeah.
It's like Dazai, stop it.
Like I know you just,
um,
you tried to off yourself, but let's get some tea. Let's think things over here.
Yeah, it's really good. The first like couple seasons is kind of just explaining the anime. It's kind of just introducing the characters and kind of showing that like, okay, here's the powers and the kind of quirks in this anime, and here's kind of like the groups and kind of what to kind of figure out. But then as it goes on, it is just one of those animes of intelligence. It is so good. You really love all the characters. They are all amazing in their own ways. In the past couple seasons, like the past two seasons, like what's been going on. I'm not gonna like get into depth with it, but it has been amazing. The plot twists and the surprises. It has just been like holy crap. It has been incredible, and like there's so many characters. It's one of those animes where you like just fall in love with them all, and it is cool because it is about literature. So like Edgar Allan Poe's in it, and he's really cool and he's funny in his own way, and like that stuff is so fascinating. And it really is S tier. It's one of those animes where you're gonna fall in love with it. You're gonna love the characters. You're gonna like laugh. You're gonna enjoy it. It's some solid fight scenes. And then it has that intelligence side where it's like it really is like a detective anime where it's like you have these mysteries and it needs to be solved and it is just so cool. I mean, you have just so many amazing characters. It speaks for itself. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. It's easily S tier.
Heck yeah, it's definitely at the top of my list. I'll have like like that and Tokyo Ghoul. I know I have to watch it, but then I'm like, season
Tokyo
2 of Rent
Ghoul
a Girlfriend,
first.
like, dude, so bad. I'm
Fucking
so bad.
degenerate.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch Tokyo Ghoul soon with my brother. He was like all over me.
Yeah, I would say that's another thing. Bungo Stray Dogs is like what it just had its fifth season, so it is a project. It's quite a couple episodes to get through, but like you'll definitely fall in love with it, and it's great. So, but like yeah, I'd probably recommend Tokyo Ghoul first, just because it's shorter. But Bungo Stray Dogs is definitely better. This
Heck
next one I
yeah.
actually don't know what it is. So do you know?
Deadman Wonderland.
That's Deadman Wonderland. Okay, cool. That's on my watch list, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, agreed. I've never seen it, but the premise of it is like really fucking cool. I think it really sounds awesome. So like an earthquake destroys, I guess, like most of Japan, and it starts like sinking into the sea. Like not maybe, well, hopefully not at all realistic because love Japan.
Yeah,
Um, but like I don't know, some of those natural disaster like world changing events in our actual world, I think is always interesting, and you can really get away with a lot. You know what I mean? And it's always kind of relatable when it's I guess our planet and not some other world.
exactly. Yeah.
So it sounds really good. I've only ever heard really good things about it. Um yes, but unfortunately never seen it.
Yeah, we were talking about this before we started recording. It's in both of our watch lists, so we will get around to that at some point. But yeah,
Definitely.
next one's Death Note. Where were you gonna put this one? What were your thoughts on Death Note?
I would have to go God tier.
God
I
tier,
think
completely
Death Note
agree.
is one of the most entertaining stories. It's extremely intelligent. Like I feel like everybody picks a side between Light and L,
Hmm.
like that clash, and like the execution of like their schemes and their plans is just phenomenal. I hated the way it ended, but that's because I was a big Light fan. um I wish I had a picture of my senior picture in high school. I
Oh
basically
no.
tried to pull dude, it's bad. Like people thought like the your emo phase was bad. My senior Yagami Light wannabe picture was pretty rough. But I loved it. I thought everything about it was sick. The scene in the helicopter where he like gets his memories back and pops his watch with the little piece on it, just
Oh,
divine, dude, divine.
I completely agree. This is God tier. It is just again, those animes like Bungo Stray Dogs, where it's like a battle of intelligence, and it's just like highly intelligent, but like it really is. It's not like fake. It's not like, oh, we're gonna set the scene up so they look intelligent, but it's like, oh shit, like this is really good. It's just
Hmm.
flawless. It's just amazing, and that's something you see in both these animes. But like Death Note was the godfather of it. It was the creator of it. It was just so good. Like you pick a side. What do you, Light or L? But like you love both sides. You love both characters. You love that game of cat and mouse, and it's just so entertaining. It's just so good. It's one of the animes where it's like you need to watch it. If you're getting into anime, this is a must-watch anime. It's something that's what God
Hmm.
tier is. It's that if you're getting into anime and you haven't seen it, that's a crime. Like you need to see this anime. It is that good. So I completely agree. God tier, easy.
The
Uh,
pace is really good. I want to say like the first couple episodes, that scene with Ray Penbar, you're like, all right, this guy means business. This is sick.
yeah,
And so like the pacing's good, and it's not. I want to 30 some episodes, maybe 40 at the
I
most.
think
It's
it's
not
40.
terribly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not terribly hard to watch. It's very bingeable. Very bingeable.
Oh, easy. You can get through it very easily. I think I got through it in like 3 days. Like I
Yeah,
got hooked
yeah.
on it. I got so hooked on it, and I wasn't sure I was gonna like the genre. I was kind of like, this seems not like my type. But then I started watching. I was like, this is phenomenal. This is so good. Next one, Demon Slayer.
I'm gonna go S. I think Demon Slayer is phenomenal.
Oh,
Um, the amount I've only ever been to like I want to say two anime conventions. Like I feel like the impact Demon Slayer has had on
yes.
especially like Western, like we'll just say America. Like I guess normalizing it. Like if you were running around in high school like 10 years ago with a Naruto headband, you were definitely getting bashed on. You were getting made fun of.
Yeah.
Nowadays it's like I see a lot of Demon Slayer stuff like especially the place I work at. Like I've seen people come in dressed like Tanjiro. And I can't be like talking to students being like, "Yo, you look good, dude. Like love the cosplay." But just seeing that and seeing like at events like how deep the love for Demon Slayer goes, I feel like is very important. It's super cool, and like obviously the story, the animation, the fights, they're all sensational.
I agree. I just don't know where to put it because here's the thing. People say it's carried by animation. Kind of agree. Because
Um,
my problem with it is this. I love the characters. I think all the characters are amazing. Again, it's one of the animes where you have this big universe of characters and you enjoy them all. You like them all. You learn their backstories. You're like, this
mhm.
guy is cool. This girl is amazing. That kind of stuff. I love the idea of the breathing styles. That is so cool, especially because it's not like, oh, I'm going to make water come out of my sword. It is just kind of more for like the looks. Which is why nothing actually catches fire. But like I think that the story is phenomenal. I think the animation is phenomenal. The only thing I don't like is well, like also like you said, the impact is insane. That is something that is a factor. The only thing I do not like is the order that they go in. So they do not like downtime. I personally love the downtime because I love the characters and their interactions. So typically at the beginning of the season, well, we just had a big fight. So everyone's injured and half dead. So we have that recovery, little time, couple episodes where they're just chilling out, cool interactions. That's nice. That's where I think you need to extend the anime and do the backstories there. Do the story progression there. That way when we get into the fights, it is this nice fluid fight instead of, okay, we're going to rush the recovery, instantly throw them into the action, but then interrupt the fight 3 to 4 times for backstory. You know what I mean? We're gonna get into the fight. We're like, oh my god, it's happening. You know what I mean? But then, oh, backstory. End of the backstory. Oh, we're gonna go look at the other fight now. Oh, now that has backstory. Now we're gonna go back to this fight, and it's like, dude, it's
Yeah.
all jumbled up. It's all over the place, and it's not smooth or like fluid. And I feel like if you just took the backstory and the story progression and put that in the recovery time of the season, so much better. That's why I think upcoming, Demon Slayer is going to skyrocket because we're having the Hashira training arc, which is going to be that downtime, that story progression, and then what it seems like in the Infinity Castle, that's like all fights. You know what I mean? So I feel like we're
Mhm.
about to finally see Demon Slayer kind of like do that, but up until now, it's been very jagged and choppy. So that's the only reason why I say that I agree with the animation kind of carries, but I feel like if the animation was like average or even like I don't think as many people would have the patience that they have. I feel like because of the animation, they have more of the patience and it'll stick through some of the choppiness a bit more. So you're saying S?
Nah, well, I never really thought of it like that, but UFO table is definitely, I think, with like Mappa,
Yeah.
one of like the big, obviously they're one of the biggest and best, but yeah, you're definitely right about the way they deliver some of like the backstories, and you don't really maybe fall in love with all the characters like you would in a different anime where they maybe give you a little more time with them, or it's like right in the middle of a fight, or as somebody's about to die or something, and maybe it doesn't hit as hard, but um
Well, that's the thing I do like. There are actual deaths, and like you don't have as much time with the character, but that's also new age shonen. We see that with Jujutsu Kaisen as well. Like they're more straightforward with
mhm,
the point instead of just like, hey, let's drag it out. We're kind of like we're just getting right to it. Um,
mhm.
So, like, and the thing I do want to say too before we grade this is that this tier list, we love all of these animes. That's why we took away 2 tiers, the E and the D tier, because we didn't want to put any animes in there. We love all of these animes. We're just like super kind of strict with it. We're not like I said, we're trying to be unbiased. Where we're not being like, oh, Demon Slayer, I absolutely love it, S tier or God tier. You know what I mean? Like we're being more like methodical with it, and unbiased. So that's why the tiers are you have Bleach and B tier, and same with Attack on Titan. That's why it Clash Assassination Classroom isn't S tier, because it we're being a little bit stricter with it. So don't think that we hate these animes or bashing on them. Like I enjoyed all the animes I've watched, but we're just being a bit more, like I said, strict. So I'm down to go end of S tier or high A, but I'm leaning more towards top of A.
I would go top of A. I think that's a more fair assessment, and like looking at how we've graded some of these so far, I think that would probably be more accurate.
Yeah,
A
like
tier for sure.
because like you said too, like Demon Slayer, I'd say is kind of becoming the new Attack on Titan because when you see someone wearing anime merch
Mhm.
in public, it is like Demon Slayer. It has like some of like the best kind of merch. It has like the more friendly kind of feel for people who aren't necessarily into anime. Like my sister's not huge into anime. She loves Demon Slayer though. It's one of those animes where a lot of people can be like, "Oh, this is sick." This is something we can just kind of get into. So I do think that's why I would kind of be like, "Oh, back of S," but that's why for right now it's just top of A. Ahead of Assassination Classroom. Um, but very good anime. It's something I do very much enjoy.
D.Gray-man.
All right, so D.Gray-man's next. What we've never seen this, so we're just gonna put it never seen and move on.
I haven't seen it. I want. Is this related to? No. I definitely am thinking of something completely different. So
I wouldn't know. I don't
disregard.
know anything
Nah, I've
about
heard
this.
really good things about it. It's really. I feel like it's like kind of classic, like early mid 2000s, kind of vibe. Like that art style is cool. I've heard good things about it, but I kind of feel like it's like lost in the sauce. You know what I mean? Maybe
Yeah.
there's so much anime out there you don't really hear people talking about it, but it's definitely on my list. It's something I would like to watch when I get through some of the other stuff.
I mean, I probably won't watch it just because I never really heard of it. But maybe if you watch it and you like it, I might have to add it to the list.
Yeah, drop some comments and let us know if you're a big D.Gray-man fan. Tell us what we're missing out on. Yeah, Dororo. I haven't seen this myself.
Yeah, bye.
I hear it's really good. Um, I'm looking up the synopsis for it. So it revolves around a Ronin, a young orphan thief named Dororo during the Sengoku period. So kind of like, historical. His father's a daimyo, so kind of like, samurai-ish, like feudal Japan almost, I guess. Maybe not that far back, but in that time period. And I feel like animes like that are always pretty cool, but
Yeah, I really want to watch it. Like, I have seen a lot of clips from it that seem super sick. It looks awesome. It looks like Noragami mixed with Kenshin. So, like, I'm
dude,
definitely
that's
interested.
perfect.
Yeah.
That's a very good like combination there. Very good.
Yeah, so I'm very excited to eventually watch this, and actually I might do it soon if it doesn't have too many seasons. But yeah, it looks sick. And then we have Dragon Ball. I have seen some of Dragon Ball Z, but not much. But Dragon Ball Super, this is.
All right, I watched every episode. Die hard Dragon Ball fan. The biggest issue
Tough
I would
start.
say. All right, we'll keep it cool here. So Dragon Ball Super makes Goku. He's always kind of like happy-go-lucky, kind of stupid, kind of funny. He's like your dumb, super buff meathead friend.
Got
You know
it.
what I mean? We all love a guy like that.
Yeah,
In Dragon Ball Z, in Dragon Ball Super, they make him like almost like unintelligent to a point where it's really
like
annoying.
Patrick Star.
Yeah, like I forget somebody brings up like a kiss or something, or like how did you have your kids or whatever, and Goku's like, oh, what do you mean, like I don't know what are you talking about, just like some really dumb moments that are like really bad. I liked the whole like godhood thing, which maybe people don't like the god and the angel. I feel like was cool to kind of like elevate Goku and Vegeta never gets his day. He gets sniped by Frieza in Resurrection F. That was fucking bullshit. No offense, Toriyama. Love you. Rest in power. Dog shit plot point. Goku's beaten Frieza how many times, bro? Let Vegeta get his revenge.
Dude, it seems like we just
Um,
uncorked this bottle. Like you had this pressured for like
I've
so
been waiting
long.
to,
It's just compressed these emotions, and we just flipped it off.
and like it's kind of long. I think it's like 64, 67 episodes.
Got it.
Like the Tournament of Power is cool, but I mean, you're just basically waiting for Ultra Instinct, which is really badass, but I feel like the animation could have been a little better, a little cooler. I would give it a C tier. I do like it, but I would never
Before
recommend
or
it.
behind Boruto?
I'm gonna go before.
Before.
Yeah, I think it's better than Boruto. A little more
It's
entertaining,
also more
but
established. I haven't seen either, so I'm just saying from
yeah,
like an
that's
outside
true.
point of view, it's finished. You know what I mean? So like Boruto, like I said, where it seems like it's more so trying to erase Naruto at this point instead of actually starting the series. So like with Dragon Ball, it's actually completed. You actually got the story. With Boruto, it like hasn't really begun yet.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, super.
So I can see why it
Lot to
would
be
take
desired.
ahead. Yeah, Dragon Ball Z though,
God tier, dude.
God tier.
Legendary. I maybe not as far as terms of in terms of story, but for me, like DBZ, the Frieza arc, well, I guess like the Planet Namek arc, Cell and Majin Buu. I thought they were just like outstanding. The Cell games were amazing. I think that's the only time somebody other than Goku like really steps up. Gohan is the man there for a little bit. And I thought like the Z fighters like Piccolo, Trunks, Vegeta, Krillin, Yamcha, even though they're not like the main guys, it's nice having that cast around to break it up. Where like Super, I felt like was straight up just Goku and Vegeta. Like everyone else is totally useless.
Got it. All right. So where would you put this? Before or after Death Note?
I'd put it after. I think Death Note's
Okay.
maybe a better story, but DBZ is like iconic. And as like a little kid, just watching buff Saiyans beat the shit out of each other was the move. It's still pretty great, at
Yeah.
30.
I mean, I didn't mind it. I actually thought like I only saw a couple episodes, but the couple episodes I actually was very surprised. I was like, oh, this is actually like pretty solid. I am enjoying it, and I can see why people are like, hey, let's push this for the big three. That kind of conversation. But Doctor Stone, have you seen Doctor Stone?
Now, I've read a little bit of the manga. I heard it was awesome from a couple different
I
people.
think it
And
might
I think
be
season.
S. I don't know. It might be
No, you
S
didn't.
or it might be A.
Oh, I thought you said it might be A.
Oh no 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 no!
I'm
I
like,
love it. I
it
love it.
very
It's
well could
very
be.
very good. It's very very good.
He's a scientist, right? Senku?
Yeah, so it's literally Bill Nye the Science Guy, but better. It's literally what it is. So not only
I could rock with that.
there's this blue, I mean this green thing went all over the earth and petrified everybody. Everyone was just kind of frozen in time and they were crystallized. And Senku just starts counting. Dude counts for like 5,000 years. I think
Oh,
it ended up being
wow.
5,000 years. And then ended up breaking out of it, and now he's the only human on Earth. So, or so we thought. So we're gonna not get too much into that, but he just tries to restore humanity, and from nothing he starts evolving science. And as the show progresses, he teaches you how to do all this stuff. He teaches you science. He teaches you how to make Coca-Cola from nothing outside. You know what I mean? He shows
It's
you
so
like,
sick.
all right, here are all these rocks and minerals, and here's what they do and their reactions, and it's like so cool. It's Blown Out the Science Guy, but just like better. The story is amazing. The characters are awesome. It's a lot of education, but also very funny. In kind of like I said from Demon Slayer, it's one of those animes where you can show it to someone who's not really into anime, and I think they really enjoy it. It's one of those very easy, very friendly and soft animes where it's just like very welcoming. It's a great starter anime. I think it's very good. I think as the seasons progress and as the story progresses, it's getting more and more interesting. It's getting more and more evolved because we're trying to solve the mystery. Who did it? Who kind of froze Earth? And everyone on it. So I think it's very, very good. I just don't think it's as popular as it should be. You know what I mean? And as some of you
Mhm.
can tell from Bungo Stray Dogs, that is not something I factor. The fact that people haven't seen something yet does not make it any less great. Because Bungo Stray Dogs is not as popular in America as it is in Japan for some reason. It's not something that was marketed as well or people gave enough of a chance. Um, and I think the same thing with Doctor Stone. I for some reason don't think a lot of people just have watched it. So I think Doctor Stone is S tier, and I think it is behind Bungo Stray Dogs. I think it is very good. I think if you give it a chance, you would very much enjoy it. I've never heard someone not like it.
Yeah, agreed. And I think just like as an outsider, I know a little bit about it. Um, but just like science as, I don't know, like a premise in an anime, very unique, very creative, obviously well executed because people like it. So definitely on my watch list as well.
Yeah. Fairy Tale. Have you seen this one?
I think I got like 24 episodes in on the
Oh,
recommendation from an ex-girlfriend. Hated it, dude. I hated it.
an ex
It was
girlfriend
so
recommended
slow.
this.
She did, yeah.
I
And like it
actually
was it was
actually like
good.
it.
I like some of the characters and like the comedy's pretty good. It was a little slow for me though. Their like dynamics as characters is kind of cool too though.
I can see what you mean. So I really like the dynamic. I really like how instead of a trio, it's four of them. I love Happy. I think he's so funny, the flying cat. I
Oh
think
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I think the idea of like magic is very cool. Well, their idea of it. I think that the power system is very amazing. I think the fight scenes are very awesome. I think the characters are very awesome. I think Urza is badass. I think Natsu is so cool. I like how it is. It's one of the only like was it Ecchi or Eki like animes I would watch. Like it's like revealing and like I'm not a fan of that because like I prefer the anime to have the story. That's why I like animes because of the story. But like Fairy Tale stays with that. It doesn't like go against it. It's not like horny. It's just kind of like more adult. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. It's not like High School DxD will never see it. That is just pure horny. But Fairy Tale isn't. You know what I mean? It's like it's more so like Urza made a joke about like Lucy being a slut. Like that was like the farthest it goes. Because like Urza can change her outfits. That's like her magic power. And depending on the armor she wears, she gets certain buffs. So she's fighting this guy and she's going through all these different sets of armor and nothing's working. She's like, well, I have one left and it's a maid outfit. But she's like, you know what? I have a warrior's honor. I have a code. I'm not Lucy. I'm not gonna stoop to that level. And like that kind of stuff, I just
That's
find
great.
so funny. I love the humor. But like you said, um, it is very. It's in a diluted kind of area where it is very like Black Clover and it's very like Naruto and Hunter x Hunter and all these other animes where it just doesn't go to that level. You know what I mean? It's kind of like one of those animes like I put
Hmm.
on, but like I'm nowhere close to finishing it yet. It's something like I'll kind of just watch every now and then between animes, because it is a bit slower. It is a bit like just all right. I love the goofiness to it. I love how it's like again like the outcast but like just very overdone where they destroy everything and they're constantly getting into bar fights. Like it has its humor, it
Yeah.
has like its moments where it's really good, and also very sweet, because Natsu does have a soft side, but like yeah, it is a bit slower. So where would you hate it, so where would you put it?
I guess I shouldn't say I hate it. I should finish it or get close. You know what I mean? Get a little deeper into the story. I like Natsu. I think he's a great character. I'd probably give it a B because Fairy Tail's got like
A B?
um, it's got a lot of like fans and what is that one? The one meme comes from that. There's like a meme that is embedded into our society that comes from Fairy Tail.
I don't know.
I have to find it. It's like a little noise. I forget what the phrase is, but I hear it on like Instagrams and or like reels and all that stuff all the
I know
time.
what you're
I'll have to
talking
find
about,
it
but
for
I
you.
thought that was from Genshin.
Now I'm pretty sure it's from Fairy Tail. I'll have to send it to you, but
All right, I the only meme I kind of know from anime is like it's from Genshin Impact from the Japanese kind of version, and it's Venti and Paimon.
おい天空のライアーを手に入れたのは酔っ払い相手に歌を聴かせるためなのかよえへってなんだよ
And like that kind of meme thing, if you know what I'm talking about.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that one,
Good old
that's the one I
Venti.
know of. But actually, I'd actually put Fairy Tail in B as well. I'd put it behind Black Clover. I'd put it at the end. I don't think it's
Yeah, agreed.
terrible. I think it has its moments. I think it has its fan base. Like you might love it. You know what I mean? For whoever's watching. It is very good, but I don't think it is up to these levels. But I also don't think it's C tier. So yeah, Fate is next. We're just gonna do the
All right,
Fate
so
series with
this
this one.
this you want to do the whole series?
So actually, I've only seen this one, I think, but like we can just say the whole series.
I think Fate Zero is the best. There's a couple other ones that are pretty good, but Fate Zero absolutely is, in my opinion, um, I guess you could say the grail of the series. It's terrible.
So bad.
Yeah, that was terrible. Fate Zero is fucking awesome. That was like my first like exposure to UFO Table. Amazing animation. There's so many good characters. Kiritsugu is the goat, badass. His like double XL time stop thing is really cool. I think Gilgamesh is like so fucking awesome. He's arrogant, he's cocky, he has a really cool ability, but like kind of with like the Babylonian lore and his history and stuff, it fits. Like the abilities are very like appropriate. I love it. I could not say enough good things about Fate Zero. The series, maybe not as much. I don't think it's as good as maybe Fate Zero, but I would say Fate Zero is either. I'll probably put it in S tier. Maybe not God tier, but S tier.
S tier. So I saw a bunch of clips on it on Instagram. You know how you usually find anime sometimes, and I was like, all right, this seems really good. And I saw one guy kind of talk about it, and he was talking about how confusing it is. So that's what really kind of turned me away from it. But then I started watching
Hmm.
Fate Zero. I was like, dude, this is insane. Like, I love the characters. I love how it's like taking them from the past and bringing them to present day. And I love the whole idea where we're fighting for the Holy Grail. I love all the characters. I love all the fight scenes. I think that it was amazing. I thought the animation was incredible. I was like blown away watching this. I was like, holy shit. And then that one guy, who's kind of like messed up, who ended up taking out that plane that his teacher was on.
A
Um,
weird insect guy. Is it Shinji?
Yeah, no. So it's the guy that like with the rocket launcher. He was on the boat. His
Oh
teacher
yeah.
was on the plane, and there was an outbreak, and she was like, "You got to take it down. Like if this goes to an airport, there's gonna be a huge outbreak, and so many people are gonna die." And he ended up shooting it down, and he was like crying, and he was like, "She was the only family I ever had." I thought that scene was insane, and then later on, the whole thing with his family. We're not gonna get into that, but I was like, "What the is going on?" Like that little girl, man. So I thought it was incredible, but like the only problem with it, in my opinion, is that the whole aspect, especially the series, is so confusing. I still don't know the watch order. There's so many different things to watch. The series
Hmm.
itself is this big jumbled mess. So like if you're just gonna watch this, it's kind of hard to get into because like nothing is ever really explained well. So like if this was explained a bit better and it was only this, I could agree with S, but I think it's more A. Just because you're gonna have a
It
lot
is
of
really
mental
confusing.
work you're gonna have to do to then watch. Like you need homework to be able to watch this series.
And like if somebody was like, "Yo, go watch Fate Zero,"
Like you
like you would be
couldn't.
like, "It was really cool and it was fun to watch," but like you should watch whatever the prequel is, or I think there's a series or a movie, then Fate Zero.
There's like
What was that
15.
called? Emiya and Rin come after that, and then there's the movies. The movies were really really cool. There's some incredible battle scenes, but I'm down with A. I think S is more of a personal ranking because I love Fate Zero, but you're right. The series is really
Confusing and
confusing.
complex.
And I wouldn't even say it's all like, it doesn't all line up and go together. Like, there's a lot of like weird spin offs and shit.
Got it. So where would we put it in A though? We have Demon Slayer and then Assassination Classroom.
I'm going to put it in between Demon Slayer and Assassination. That's where I would go.
Oh, that's. I'm gonna go
Sorry,
with
Koro
you on this
Sensei.
one. I'd put it towards the back, I think, but I'm gonna put it in the middle. We'll compromise with that. Fire Force.
Fair. So, Fire Force. The sound effects, I would say, are the best in anime. They got some wicked bass
Oh my
drops
god, yeah.
and
With the Benimaru
like
scene, dude.
oh, it's so good. They're like Crimson Moon thing, and that's not even his technique either. He
Yeah.
steals that shit like on the spot. So I would say there's a lot of cool moments. I think the ending is fucking incredible.
Well, don't spoil. Don't
Um,
spoil.
what's his name? Shinra. I think like the abilities are cool. Like the whole premise of just fire. Like they did a pretty good job with that. Not like reusing or making boring abilities, but it was still pretty cool. Um, I don't know that there's that many great characters. Benimaru, Shinra are cool. Arthur's cool. But that's really all like the attachment I guess I would have to it.
Oh, okay. So this is interesting because my opinion of Fire Force is that, like, naturally, like, if you remove this one simple thing, I'd actually probably put it at the back of S. But like, here's the thing: I love the story. I think the story is really awesome. I think the concept of it is so awesome. I think he's cool. I think Arthur's cool. His brother, so cool. Um, I think all the characters are amazing. Maki is amazing. The chief is
Oh
amazing.
yeah.
The captain of District 5 is Umami, so amazing. You know,
Yeah,
you,
yeah, true,
you
true.
have District 1 that's amazing. Like, you have so many different things that are just so awesome. You have so much comedy in it because Arthur is literally. His power is delusion. His power is delusion. Like, his stupidity is his strength. And it is just so awesome. The fight scenes are great, but the one thing that really bugs me is that priest girl from District 1 who's like always randomly naked. I, f-
Tamaki.
I think so. I feel like it is just so over the top and annoying because, like,
And what firefighter, female firefighter, is having like Opie hanging out on the
yeah.
job? Like, cut me a break, honey. Zip it up.
Yeah, and like you'll sit there and you have the siren going off, everyone's going to work, fires are going off, people are fighting, and you're showing all these scenes and all this stuff, and then it just shows her, and she's like somehow naked, and it's like, dude, like that just kind of ruins it. Like, it was so cool for a second because we just got really into it. The sound effects were amazing. Everyone's getting into the fights, everyone's looking so badass, and then it's just like, okay, fan service. It's like it's so unnecessary and over the top. Like, when it's in it to a certain point, but like the woman from District 5, there you go. But like with her, it is just like annoying. It is just so unnecessary and misplaced. So for that, I'd probably put it towards the back of A is where I'd put it. Where would you put it?
You're definitely right, though. She is always like the damsel in distress, which I feel like you
Yeah,
could do
it's
without
like,
like showing skin. I mean, fan service is all right here and there
but it's all
for
the
like a
time
battle.
and it's over the
Yeah,
top.
it's. I agree. It's over the top, and you can like Sakura. She was always the damsel in distress, but like she kept her clothes on for the most part.
And she
It's
eventually
fine.
got stronger. Like, I feel like she would have been such a
Yes, and
cool
there was
character
progress.
too, because like she's part like fighting capacity where she can like actually fight, she has that cool fox kind of thing that she does, but then she's also going to be a priestess, so she's playing that end. So I think that dual kind of role character would have been so cool. I think she is a cool character. It is just like the random like fan service that is just like, dude, like what are you doing? Like that is just it's so unnecessary and stupid, and it kind of just takes away from the story, from the scene, and kind of just dilutes the anime a bit. So where would you put it?
I'm good with the back of A. I
Back
think
of
it's
A.
very entertaining. It's really well done overall. Like it's fun. Like you said, it's a little. It could be better. Um, the opening songs were really badass. The
Dude,
OPs for
so
Fire
good.
Force were sensational too.
They were. Oh, that's the thing I didn't mention for Black Clover. Black Clover, in my opinion, has the best openings ever. Like all of them, they were all so phenomenal. Like I'm someone who would watch like an opening or two, and then I'll just start skipping them. Black Clover, I watched every single one, because they were just that like the song, but also the animation, the scenes, just so good. But
There's a couple OSTs you just can't skip, man.
yeah,
I feel that.
Food Wars. I have not seen this one.
I've seen like bits and pieces. I've never watched it front to back. I feel like they do a lot of cool collaborations, maybe. Like they had that manga with Sanji from One Piece. He's like the chef. So they did like a Sanji version of Food Wars. Like shit like that is really cool. I can definitely relate to having a good meal and feeling things, you know what I mean? But a little, it's a little over the top sometimes. I would say it's pretty entertaining, but I've never seen it front to back, so I would put it in never seen.
Never seen. Got it.
I also don't. I want to see how much there is. Is it like really long?
I think I'm not necessarily
Season.
sure.
Yeah, so we got a few seasons. Wow, it's extremely highly rated. All right, it's something I'll have to check out.
Yeah, if you say it's good, then I might have to check it out, but we'll see. All right, this next one,
Is this is Brotherhood, right? FMA Brotherhood.
I think I actually haven't seen it, so I'm not sure.
Let me just double check the.
Should we just count it as both because there was only one on here?
Yeah, it is Brotherhood, and in my extremely humble and unprofessional opinion, Brotherhood is much better because it's like a truer manga adaptation. So I slept on it for years. I just watched it last year, and I got like, I don't know, 31 or 32 episodes in. Really, really good stuff. Al and Ed, great characters, like easy to fall in love with. Some of the villains are really cool. Scar, badass.
Wait, so were you not able to finish it?
No, I finished it, but
Okay.
I was like, started lagging like just after 30 episodes. I maybe took a month or two off and came back, and it was just perfection. I'm like, why the fuck did you stop watching this?
Dude, I think that's
thought
everyone's
it was incredible.
experience with it, because everyone kind of says that we're like, oh, it's so amazing, but like some people aren't able to finish it. Like I think Ludwig, he's a YouTuber. He was talking about how he tried watching it. He got like a couple episodes in. He's like, I can't do this. Like, and I feel like other people had that experience where like we were watching it, slowed down, stopped, came back, and then it was gold, kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess I use it a lot as like a comparison tool. Like I think FMA Brotherhood is like really, really good, and it's easy to kind of compare, like use as like a benchmark maybe. I loved it. I thought the story was super good. The whole like transmutation, like you can't give anything without, or you can't get anything without giving something. That was like a cool little like trade there. And then the very end of it, once they start to like figure stuff out and get the Philosopher's Stone, I don't want to spoil the ending because I think everybody should watch it. It really does, like the payoff is really fucking good.
Yeah, I feel like, well, first of all, where would you grade it, and then I'll kind of say something.
I'm gonna go S. I think there's a lot of good scenes. The story's good, and Roy Mustang avenging his boy. Beautiful.
Where would
Beautiful.
you put it in S? So we have Bungo Stray Dogs, Doctor Stone.
Well, I'll lean on you since you've seen Dr. Stone. Would you put it ahead or behind?
I've never seen it. I've never seen.
I'll just put it behind. I mean, I think FMA Brotherhood's awesome, but I know there's a lot of hype for Dr. Stone too, so
See, that's what
I'll
I was
just
about
put
to
it in
say.
S.
So I haven't seen it, but I've heard so many things about it. I feel like it's one of those animes where it has that like kind of status, like Attack on Titan, where it's like if you're gonna be an anime, you should watch it. You know what I mean? Like or like Death Note. Like it's one of those animes that you like need to kind of watch. So like I will eventually watch it at some point, but I just haven't yet. It has a status though, that prestige.
It well worth the watch. Definitely would encourage you to watch it, but it does have some like slow points. I wouldn't call it god tier, maybe, but definitely worth the watch
I
for sure.
wouldn't, just because I also see a lot of back and forth on it. I see some people that are like, "Oh my god, it's amazing." And other people are like, "Eh."
And like I guess I never watched the original anime, so I'm not quite sure how that ending differs. You know what I mean? But I just wanted to watch Brotherhood for the manga adaptation. I think it's a little more accurate from what I've read.
Got it. And then the next one is this. What is this one?
This isn't Gintama, is it?
It is.
This is
That's what it's called. It's on my list. I haven't seen this.
So Gintama is fucking crazy. It's extremely funny. It makes fun of almost like all your favorite animes. Like there's really good references. The characters are hysterical, but then there's like an underlying plot point that's like there's serious fights, there's good fights, but like that's underneath like the comedy and stuff. I think Gintama is like a 200 IQ show. Like it's maybe not always like the most actiony, but it's like a lot of comedy, but the characters are sensational, dude. I love it. It's very good writing, and like I feel like you could pop it on whenever, have it in the back. Like there's a ton of episodes too, but
So where would you
I
find
don't.
this?
It's hard because it's like it's not a battle manga or a battle shonen type anime. There's fights, but like it's a comedy, but it's also like a slice of life type thing. I would say either A or S. I think it's fucking awesome.
Oh,
It's hysterical
okay.
and it's like super deep. Trying to think. I would say it's probably it. It's better than Death Note and Fate Zero. Just like
Wait,
I don't know.
what?
I
Death
guess it would
Note?
be
Death Note's in God tier.
or no. Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer? Okay. So you're putting it at the top of A.
I would say the top of A or the back of S. It's tough to kind of like explain the charm of it.
Okay.
I'm trying to think like I always forget this guy's name. He's like the one military officer that like Gin is always like arguing with. Like they hate each other, but they kind of like each other. Like they go to like a knockoff DBZ planet Namek, like
Got it.
looking for the ooey gooey balls. Like shit like that is just so funny. Like it's kind of dumb, but like it's fun. So I don't know. I'd say probably the front of A. I
Got
think
it.
that's fair.
All right. What's this next one? I actually don't recognize this one.
Gurren Lagann?
Have you seen it? I haven't seen it, obviously.
I haven't seen it. I've
I
heard
will put it in
it's
never seen it.
awesome. I've been recommended by multiple people, and like I said, I'm sleeping on it because I got 4 seasons of Kano Kari, Rent a Girlfriend. And it's obviously more important. Really gonna touch it. But yeah, that's like I know I'm like, oh yeah, that's on my list. I'm getting exposed here, but
Yeah.
I've only ever heard good things about it, and I've been recommended a bunch of times. So never seen it, but hear good things.
All right. So I'm gonna get so much credit. This is Haiku. What is this? How's this one pronounced?
Hayaku. I
See,
want to say it means hurry up in Japanese.
I'm gonna get destroyed for that because, especially because I'm gonna say this is a god tier. I'm not gonna lie. I think this anime is beyond incredible. I just don't know how to pronounce the name. Um, I think it is phenomenal though. I think it is amazing. I don't know where the English dub went. It kind of fell off the face of the earth because this is an anime where I'm trying to recommend it to a bunch of people who I think would really, really enjoy it and it'll get them absolutely hooked on anime. But trying to get someone to watch anime for the first time and watch subbed anime isn't easy. So
Mm.
having this dubbed would have been a lot like having the dubs. That's how I kind of watched it, was dubbed. It's so good. I can't wait for the movie to come out. I mean, it is amazing. You're again big universe. You love all of the characters. It's all action based. It's one of the finally a sports anime that's not about the politics outside of the actual game. It is the game itself for
Okay.
90% of the anime. Then the 10% is kind of the building on the outside. Again, phenomenal characters, insane scenes, get you just so hyped up. I mean, it is amazing. You see every aspect of it. I absolutely love it. I think it is god tier easily. I think it paved the way for sports anime, and also it's just such a gateway for people to get into anime. I just don't know where the English dub went. So if anybody knows, let me know. But have you seen it?
I have not. And I
Dude,
have like
it is
this
amazing.
folder.
It is
I've
amazing.
heard it's really good. I have this like folder on my phone from one day in Tokyo, and like the whole subway station was the Haikyu players with their heights and stuff, so you could like take pictures next to them.
Yeah.
Dude, and you know I was taking pictures left and right. I've never seen this show, and I totally lied about it too. I'm like, oh yeah, Haiku's awesome. Yeah, yeah. Hinata's my favorite character. You know.
Dude, he's
So
sick. He is so
definitely
cool.
definitely on the list. I know like the premise of it, but when's the movie come out?
So it's supposed to come out, but no one like saw that it was only in Japan. So I don't know when it's coming out in America. So we'll see. But like, I'm definitely gonna have to like, if it's in theaters, I'm going to watch it. Like, I don't care.
Heck
I'll
yeah.
move mountains to go see it because it is that good. It's amazing, even though I can't pronounce the title. But you know what? That's okay. So actually, I put it in God tier. And I put it between Death Note and Dragon Ball.
I've never seen it, so I will take your word. I definitely want to watch it. It's in my catalog for sure.
Yeah, like the reason I kind of placed it where I did is because Death Note is something that everyone needs to watch if they're into anime. This you don't necessarily need to, but I also think it's more unique than Dragon Ball because it's not like just a shonen. It is like it really opened up sports and really kind of in my eyes like it's what made me kind of see the potential of anime because like you'd watch a sports show and you'd be like, okay, cool, this has nothing to do with the sport. It's all the high school
Mhm.
politic bullshit. And then I watch this, I'm like, oh wow, now I see like this is what anime can do. Because anime doesn't need, to choreograph stuff. It can just animate it in the actual like combat, like or the actual like what's going on. Like it's just so much easier to do. So I think that this is amazing. I actually haven't seen this one. I see stuff all about it. It has a cult like fan base, but I actually don't know this anime.
Is this Megalobox?
I guess so. I see
This is
stuff all the
Hajime
time.
no Ippo.
I've never
So
seen it.
Megalobox. I liked Megalobox, but I heard it was a ripoff of Hajime no Ippo. I've never seen it. I've heard really good things, and it's kind of like one of those classics.
I see stuff
How
for it
many
all the time on
episodes?
Instagram.
Yeah. When did it come out? Wow. 4.9 on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, people love it. No, like people love it.
Yeah, so it's like an early 2000s, which I love that art style, like that late 90s, early 2000s kind of anime manga style.
Yeah.
So I'm sure I would really like it. I'm trying to see how many seasons we got. 140 volumes. That sounds like a lot. Either way, I would like to watch it. I thought Megalobox was really cool. Same kind of like premise, boxing manga. Um, yeah, but never seen it. So let us know if you're a Hajime no Ippo fan, if we should watch it.
Yeah, for real. And then also HunterxHunter is next. So we actually just
I
talked
feel like
about
that's
this on
got
the
to be God
podcast.
tier.
Yeah.
I feel like that's got to be God tier. Just like the world building, the uniqueness, the characters. Like after the Gon and Neferpitou fight, I was like, there's not many times I've been like, holy shit.
Wait,
And
so
like the implications.
yeah, I
What were you
completely
saying?
agree. Like we were talking about it yesterday on the podcast about how it is amazing. It does have its flaws, but it is amazing. Are we putting this at the end though?
I would say either the end, or like somewhere in S tier, towards the front of S tier.
Towards the end of S tier, or I thought we were putting it in God tier.
Uh, Either the front of S tier or the back of God tier.
I'm kind of cool with putting it. Okay, well, it's up to you. Because now since you said it, yeah, I'm more down to put it in the front of S just because it's easier to keep less out of God tier. Kind of give it
Yeah,
that kind
I'll
of
go
its
S.
importance. All right, so front of S tier.
Yes, that's fair, I think.
But yeah, I completely agree with you on that stuff. We just had a whole conversation about this. It is such a great anime, and there's just so much to it. Um, what is this? What is this one? I don't know a bunch of these.
Inuyasha, baby. Inuyasha.
I've never seen
So,
it.
way back in the day, this was on Toonami right after bedtime for little Blake. So I would have to like sneak episodes. I still never watched the full thing. But I know like a pretty good amount of like the premise. This was like one of the first animes where I was like, Inuyasha is the good guy, but Sesshomaru, the villain, looks way more badass. So I'm rooting for him.
Yeah.
I liked him more than Inuyasha. The love story kind of dominates like the romance. It's a pretty good story, but I would like to hear from like somebody who's hardcore or like has seen it and knows the story better than I do, because it's been forever. The art is really good. The characters are pretty good, but I've never watched it front to back, so I'd feel better putting it in never seen. But I know
Got
it's
it.
one of those it's like Dragon Ball Z, like it's a cult classic almost. I'm
All
sure
right.
somebody would absolutely fade me for saying never seen though.
So I guess we're gonna put it in never seen because we can't properly judge it, but let us know down below what you guys think of it. Again, at the end we are gonna look at the community ranks, so we'll see where the community ranked it. But next is JoJo. I have again never seen this. There's quite a bit I haven't seen, but I hear people freak about it.
So like over the top, extremely excessive, super flamboyant, and like at times homoerotic. I think it's fucking amazing. The first like 3 episodes where like you establish that Dio Brando is like one of the greatest villains ever. Basically, I want to say it's Joseph Joestar in the beginning. Like there's kind of different generations. And I haven't even
Yeah.
seen the newest one. I forget what it's called. Damn. But I like JoJo. Overall, I thought it would not be something I liked.
I feel like that's what everyone
Dio
kind
isn't.
of thinks, and like that's the thing about anime. Like, don't you dare sleep on an anime just by the appearance of it. We all make the mistake, and we all make it multiple times. I made that mistake about
Yeah.
what's it called? About Assassination Classroom. Loved it. Shit brought me to tears. Same thing with the time I got reincarnated as a slime. Same thing with Buddy Daddies. Everyone's like, oh, dude, Buddy Daddies is just a gay version of Spy Family. Then you watch it and like, oh my god, this is actually good. Like this is insane. It's funnier because it's
Need to
like
watch
more
that.
it's more a bit adult than Spy Family. It is only one season and it's done. Like I regretted waiting so long to watch Buddy Daddies. It was that good. So I feel like yeah, you look at JoJo and you're like, oh, it's just like a super like you said like flamboyant anime. So like you're kind of like but then it's probably something you watch and you're like, this is the greatest thing ever. So where would you put this? I'm completely trusting your judgment on this one.
I
It's
would
on my list
probably
though.
my there's a lot. Like it's not the easiest to watch. I want to say there's like 6 seasons. But there's a lot of content. Stardust Crusaders was awesome. Like the crescendo of the whole arc with Dio. I would say A. I would put it somewhere in A. Maybe in front of Fire Force.
Front of Fire Force, okay.
I'm sure JoJo for some people is like God tier.
Oh, absolutely. It has that fan base.
I enjoyed it, but I was never like truly in love. You know what I mean?
Got it.
No disrespect, but I think Dio Brando is one of the greatest villains of all times.
Really?
Dude, in the first 3 episodes, like I think they take like the Joestar family takes him in as like an orphan, immediately like takes over the family, like slaps Josuke's girlfriend and then steals her first kiss from him just to be a douchebag. It's like I just watching it and I was like, all right, yeah, Dio's a sick bastard. Like just from those first 3 episodes that got me all the way through Stardust Crusader. There's other good characters, Ario Speedwagon, like it was definitely worth the watch, but it would be tough to binge.
Got it. Got it. Next one's Jujutsu Kaisen. This one's gonna be interesting. Interesting for sure.
So I actually got into it like before the anime came out, just because the hype was crazy,
Okay.
and I have so much like Jujutsu Kaisen crap in my apartment. Like
Yeah.
I don't think I could be a bigger fan.
So
I
you're
would
saying
put it
God
in
tier?
S. I would say S tier. They don't really explain a lot of stuff if you just watch the anime. And like there's a lot of editor notes in the manga that I think give you a better understanding of like abilities and like, this fight in these set of chapters. They'll explain how some things work. So I feel like you do miss out if you're just an anime only, but like just amazing fights, amazing animations, just like the characters that get offed. Love
So
it.
again, we're gonna have to remind people that we love all of these animes. We're just being super strict. It's kind of like if we are gonna rank animes in general, like just go off of everything, you know, all these animes would be an S or God tier compared to all the other stuff that's out there. But we have a bunch of high level animes, so that's why we're breaking them down very specifically. I say this because, you know, the thing is, like you said, if you read the manga, it makes it better. But this is an anime tier list. This is just the animes. And if I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna grade Demon Slayer an A. I kind of have to put Jujutsu Kaisen there as well because my biggest thing with Demon Slayer was the choppiness, the unorganized mess that it is, and I feel like with Jujutsu Kaisen, what we had was we had season one, which introduced Itadori and the trio, and that was awesome. And in my opinion, best season ever because it wasn't as action packed, but it was, in my opinion, the real anime. It was kind of how the anime is supposed to feel. It was the three of them getting together, growing, learning. You had the action scenes. You had where Itadori died, and they're like, "Oh, I'm back," and they're like, "What the fuck? Like you're
Yeah,
alive?"
that scene was awesome.
You know what
And
I mean?
everyone's just like,
And then Gojo is just like, he's looking at Gojo like, "You said they would be excited," and Gojo's like,
you said this would work. Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe I was wrong.
So it was super comedic, and it was like it was just anime to me. And then they decided, okay, we're gonna make a movie that's gonna have nothing to do with it, and it's gonna be kind of the build up for the Shibuya arc.
Oh,
And then we're gonna have the
yeah.
first part of season two, which is just building up for the Shibuya arc. So I feel like you just started season one of the anime, then started a new anime where you're just building up for one arc, and all it was is building, and it was just very unorganized, very weird. I would prefer the movie in the beginning of season two to be before season one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So because of that disorganization, it is tough to kind of be like, this is S, because I bumped Demon Slayer for this same exact reason, except Jujutsu Kaisen is actually worse than that aspect. But Jujutsu Kaisen does have great animation. It has awesome fight scenes. It has an insane story with amazing characters. So for me, I kind of have to go more towards A than S. So where should we kind of find common ground here?
I'd put it in A. I would put it towards the top A because, like,
I
mean,
think
I've
it's
been
above
so
Demon
hard.
Slayer. I think it's above Demon Slayer. So the
I
question
agree.
is it before or after this the first anime? I don't know the name
I'm
of it
putting it
again.
before Gintama. I'm putting it before Gintama. But
Before.
then, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it to him. I'm a huge fan, but you're definitely right. Like, if you're just an anime only, I feel like your attachment to the characters and like the story itself, it changes a lot. Characters change a lot, and it's just fucking sad. It's sadness. It's pain.
Yeah.
So like some of it does annoy me in a way. Like, I think there's a lot of things that are never fleshed out either, which it's like, why did you dive into this plot point for, I don't know, 3 episodes or 10 chapters and then just like move on from it? So the choppiness, yeah, I'm definitely with you there.
Yeah, it's all over the place. We have the basketball anime. I actually haven't seen this one. It's probably one of the only sports animes I really haven't seen. I don't know the name of it, but people love it, and
Is
I've
this
seen clips, and it seems good. I'm just not like a big basketball fan.
so I know Slam Dunk. I don't know Kuroko's Basket.
So we're gonna put that in never seen then.
Never seen. Let us know if you think it's good or how it compares to Slam Dunk, because Slam Dunk's kind of one of those, like, I guess, like late 90s cult classics.
Yeah. What is this? Do you know this anime? The one before Mob Psycho?
Is this Magi?
I think so.
They're like so small. I think this is Magi.
Have you seen it?
The Labyrinth of Magic. I have not. I heard it was really good though. I've had it recommended to me a few times, but I like know nothing about it honestly. I've heard it was good, but never seen.
I've never seen that one as well. Moving on to Mob Psycho. I also have never seen this one, but it's on the list because I hear amazing things about it, and I believe it is over too, right?
Yeah, Mob Psycho is awesome. Like, I feel like it's very relatable too in a way. Like, Mob's a really awkward guy socially. Like, you kind of go through a lot of those, like, you know, like common high school issues most like people face. You know what I mean? Making
Yeah.
friends, asking out a girl. But he also has like super broken hacks that make him super fucking cool. It's a great story. It's like not too serious, but it speaks kind of like casually on serious issues. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the whole like breaking point for Mob is cool to see how like the like more upset he gets, the more it gets closer to 100, and then like he hits his breaking point. That was like a cool I don't know, animation or whatever. And then the colors, when like they're fighting, the colors in the animation I thought was unique. It's not like, it's a little bit flashy, but I thought it was cool. I think the visuals were awesome throughout the whole show.
Got it. Where would you put it? 'Cause like I said, I haven't seen it, but it's definitely on the watch list because it definitely seems like one of those big animes that you kind of need to watch.
I'm gonna s- I guess I would go B.
I would say, looking at the list we have here, like I said, all these are phenomenal animes. Even though Mob Psycho does seem very, very good, it does not seem like it's better than Fire Force or any of those big names in A. Because we have like A tier is like stacked. Like I said, we are very, very cutthroat with this list.
Yeah, I felt like we were pretty judicious, which I like.
Yeah.
I would put it behind Black Clover, I guess.
Okay.
In front of or behind that. I think it's a little better than Fairy Tail in my opinion, but it's also
Oh,
shorter.
I haven't seen it, but I'd say that is most definitely probably ahead of Fairy Tail.
All right,
But
we'll
you
do
think
towards the
Black
back of
Clover is
A.
ahead of it?
I think it's maybe a better story. It's fleshed out more. Like Black Clover's kind of a bigger world. I feel like Mob Psycho just focuses on like Mob and um like his friend, I think Shiego, and who is the little green guy,
I have no
his
idea.
friend. I forget that's terrible. Hold on. Dude, he's just this little green like ball of gas, and his name is
What?
Dimple. Like it
Dimple?
just like imagine like a cartoon fart, like that green bubble, gaseous bubble, and his name is Dimple. And he's like Mob's first real friend.
Oh, that's like sad, but like a badass friend.
Yeah, like it is really good. There's a lot of like stuff worth watching in there. I would say
Got
it's
it.
good.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna add it, especially because it's not like too long. But we have, speaking of long animes, My Hero Academia next. This one is interesting.
Ah,
This one's
how do you
tough.
feel about it?
I hated it in the beginning. So my friend was a diehard
Agreed.
fan, got me into it. We watched 3 episodes. I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. Like the first 3 episodes of My Hero Academia is awful because it's just Deku crying like a bitch. That's what it is. But then episode 4 is when he gets to the school and you see, oh, all these other characters are pretty cool. And then you see that, oh, he might be a crying little bitch, but he's not a coward. The way he
Yeah.
jumps in and takes that thing out, and you're like, okay, this got potential. I do think that the community ruined it because from what I heard is I'm like, this feels super, super, super rushed. And apparently that's because the community wasn't liking some of the arcs, so they're kind of just rushing through them. Like the fact that all this happened in their first year is kind of BS to me. I feel like all the events that transpired should have taken place over the 3 years. Um, so I think the pacing of it is a bit like insane. Um, but
Mhm.
yeah, so I think it's really good though. I just don't know where I'd put it. I think it's A or above, but I just don't know in this area where I'd put it. What about you?
I think I would put it ahead of Bleach, at the top of B, or the back of A, because there's a lot of episodes to it. I think the story's great. There's a lot of great characters. I don't think there's a lot of consequences, maybe. And I was with you. It was kind of annoying to me in the beginning, but the characters definitely grow on you.
Oh,
I
for
think
sure, yeah.
it's overall a good show. Like there's a lot of battles that are worth like sticking through the slow parts with it. Like I'm like looking at Bleach and Naruto. It's like there's definitely some slow moments in that. So I would say I wouldn't like not watch it.
All right, I put it at
I guess
the
it just depends on your speed.
yeah, I agree. I put it at the back of A just to kind of give it the respect. It is a big anime. It is a really good anime. I don't think being in B is
Huge.
good, but yeah, like I'd say
Hmm.
I'd recommend all these in A before My Hero Academia. Like I'd say yeah, watch Fire Force first, watch Assassination Classroom, Fate, watch Demon Slayer, all those. So I agree with that. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
So next we have the OG Naruto.
OG Naruto, I gotta go God tier
The
or S.
OG?
God tier or S. I think there's a lot that like wraps you into it.
Mm,
I would say between like the pain arc, or
that's
I guess
not
that's
that's not OG
Shippuden.
though. That's Shippuden,
So
yeah.
where does
So
that end in the final valley? I guess.
So the before the time skip, it's the bridge with Haku.
Nah, I want to say that goes to like the final valley. The first time Sasuke and Naruto fight, or is that? I'm getting old. I can't
I think you're
remember.
right. Wait, no, I think you're right. I think, yeah.
Yeah, the Sasuke retrieval arc. Okay.
Oh wait, the
Yeah, that was
Sasuke retrieval
awesome.
arc was in the OG one. It wasn't after the time skip.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
all
okay. I'm
OG.
ranking this way higher. I was gonna be like, it was pretty good. Like, it kind of gets you into the series, but everything really happened after the time skip. I disagree now. This is gonna be ranked a lot higher.
I would say the top of S or like behind Haikyu.
I mean, yeah,
Haikyu.
it didn't miss. The OG, like before the time skip, just did not miss. It had some insane arcs. The bridge arc was insane. Then you have the final valley arc where he goes up against Sasuke for the first time. Insane. The retrieval arc, that was when boys became men.
Yes.
Like, you didn't have those bad moments. You had the first couple episodes where like Naruto's just really weird, way too goofy and unhinged, but like that's when it really starts kind of getting into things, and it just sped up fast. And I'm gonna say S. I'm
I'll say
gonna
the top of S. I think it's a
before Hunter x
timeless
Hunter.
one, but like yeah, I would put it
Yeah.
ahead of Hunter x Hunter just because like Shippuden, there's a lot of really cool shit in Shippuden that
Oh,
like
so many. I'm gonna say Shippuden top of God tier. I think that Shippuden is number one.
I would put it behind Death Note just
Put it
for
behind
like
Death Note. I'll do that.
maybe that's sentimental, but it's like Shippuden is timeless, dude. There's so many good arcs, and I think that's when you really flesh like Naruto, Kakashi, like the overarching story. You learn a lot more about everyone's motives in Shippuden and stuff. And regardless of what you think of the ending, I thought Shippuden was a masterclass.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. Yeah, the ending is tough because again, they just kind of got tired of it. They're kind of like, you know what, we just really gotta end Naruto and then do Boruto, and you can just tell that. Guess they're really still sick of Naruto, but the ending is it hurts. But I thought, yeah, Shippuden was just next level. Like the pain arc, just so many arcs were just so fantastic. It was amazing. So yeah, I could see Death Note being ahead of it. But yeah, I agree with that. Next one's Noragami. Have you seen it?
I have. I love Noragami. What's the blonde haired kid's name? I forget. I thought he was annoying as shit.
Same.
Um,
No, he grew on me though. He grew on me though.
he does grow on you. I thought Yato was really badass. He was a great character. Um,
For me, have you read
who
the manga?
I haven't. I've only seen the anime.
Okay, because for me, it was really good, but it wasn't as good as people were saying it was. It seems like the next season, if it's going to get one, is when it really starts to get better. But for me, it was just kind of like too slow in certain parts and not enough action or like building. Like a lot of it
Yeah,
kind of
it was
just
like
seemed pointless in some areas.
I don't think it ever really committed to anything because like I feel like the romance aspect was kind of like important and like it's weird romance like they're not
Yeah.
really into each other but like that's obviously a plot point and yeah they never really commit to like
You're right, they don't commit to
a
anything.
genre maybe.
Because they don't really go full force in the romance. They don't really go full force in his past where he was like what, a war god or something.
Yeah, that would have been
That
sick.
would have been awesome. You don't really go full force into a lot of this stuff, so it kind of just seems like it was building a lot, but it just didn't cross that line into just greatness. And I feel like that's where the next season would have really done that. Um, but it just hasn't. So I'd say B tier or the top of C tier. And again, I do like this anime. Again, these animes are all great. We're just being very specific or technical.
You remember Bisha Monten?
The what?
I think she's the woman, she's one of the women villains from season 2, maybe the end of season 1.
Oh, the one with all the like kind of like the slaves or whatever. They're like her equipment. She's got the lion or the tiger or whatever. Dude, there's
Good
some people
stuff.
in that anime. No, but
Good
like I said,
stuff.
it's a great anime. Like if it came out the new season, I'm definitely watching it as it comes out. The
Yeah,
question is it on the same? Is it on B tier? Do you know what I mean? Is it
I'd put it ahead of Super, top of C.
top of C? I'd
I
agree.
do. I love Noragami. I've had like so many like Souls characters named like Yato and stuff because I thought he was awesome. But like, it's not like something I'd be like, dude, if you're into anime, you have to watch
I
it.
completely agree. I completely agree. It's kind of one of those things you stumble across. You're like, oh, this is pretty good, and like you'd watch it as it come out, but like I'm not recommending it to anybody unless they're like real deep.
And some of that, like trying to bridge like action and romance, like doesn't always work the best, I think.
And they
And
didn't
that's
do
maybe a
either.
case of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
like
didn't
you said, they didn't
execute really
commit.
well in either. Still
Uh,
good anime though. I do enjoy it.
so these next two, I think, are going to be big on your end. It's we got One Piece to start.
Dude, I gotta go God tier for One Piece. The fact that it's more popular now, like 25 years later, is just insane to me.
But the
Like,
one thing I got to say
there's
about it, it's got to be at the end of God tier because I hear so many diehard One Piece fans bitch about it as well, and you never really hear that with other
oh,
animes.
shitty animation, weird characters. And I will say this isn't like a huge sticking point, but like it could be for other people. Women in One Piece are all like, rail thin with monster opie, or they're like built like some like Trunchbull like demon. Like there's no in between. Women are like sex icons or monsters in One
Yeah,
Piece. But like the world building, the characters, like one of my favorite things is how they bring back villains Luffy beats to like replay them in the story to either help Luffy or achieve a common goal. But you got to have 1100 or what is it? Like almost 1100 episodes to do something like that. So there's a lot of filler. I would say there's a lot less filler than Bleach. That's why I put Bleach so low.
yeah,
One Piece is a lot of action, but it is a lot of drawn out bullshit.
like One Piece, in my opinion, is like one of the biggest staples. It's one of the biggest things where people are like, "Oh my god, One Piece!" Again, it's one of those symbols where you don't need to know anime to know One Piece. And it actually seems
Hmm.
very interesting and very cool. But when you hear people that like are diehard fans be like, "Yeah, like it takes like 800 to 1,000 episodes before it really gets going," it's like I do not like have that time. I don't have 3 months before I'm like, "Okay, this has gotten good." You know what I mean? Or like, "Oh, the animation's gotten good," or the action is like, it's like that is rough. Like that's really tough, but like that's why it's like it's got to be kind of in God tier because like the hype it has. But like, yeah, you'll never hear like people from Dragon Ball Z or any of these other animes be like, oh, like the anime is really kind of like tough in certain areas, like for the majority of it. So that's why I'm like it has to be in the back in my opinion. But like, huge anime, huge.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
And then this one, I believe it's Pokemon, right?
This looks
I was
like
never into Pokemon, so this is where I'm gonna
Die
get chewed out
Hard,
for this
dude.
one.
I mean, I'm so low key like a huge Pokemon fan, just for like the impact it had on like anime and video games, bringing them over here.
I
I
think the
have like,
impact it had on everything. I mean, it's a
yeah,
monster. That's why, like, I if you put it in God tier, I can't like disagree.
I would put it in A. I think there's a lot of really good stuff. Like the movies were awesome. Pokemon had a lot of really cool movies. Mewtwo Strikes Back, Pokemon 2000. I cried during Pokemon 2000 as a little kid in the movie theater. Just awesome. I would put it in at the back of A tier because it's not like a wicked good anime.
At the
I
very
think,
back,
yeah, mostly for like the video games, the cards. I mean, people, everybody has like a favorite Pokemon. Everybody knows who Charizard is.
yeah,
Like, just a cultural giant, and I feel like it paved the way for a lot more stuff in the West for like video games and anime to become more mainstream.
got it. I agree. And then Rurouni Kenshin.
Ooh, Kenshin, that was like another Toonami classic that young Blake wasn't supposed to watch. I thought it was badass, dude.
I
Like,
haven't watched the old one. I'm watching the remake right now, and I just love it. I think that the story is amazing. The characters are just so amazing. I
mhm.
think it's really good. I think it's really enjoyable. Um, it's tough because I have watched the new remake. This is the old one though. There's a lot more story progressed. So where would you put this? Because you've seen the old one, right? The original.
Yeah, I think Shishio is like a, I'm trying to think. I was maybe like 10, 12. I don't know. Like that guy's terrifying. Super badass like antagonist. Overall, it's kind of long, probably equivalent to FMA Brotherhood. Not terribly long. Um, I'd put it ahead of Mob Psycho, I think.
Okay,
Middle
B
of
tier.
B.
All right.
I'd be interested once you finished, what is it, 24 episodes on the remake,
Yeah.
to know what you think, like moving forward, because there's a lot of good stuff that comes after that too. It's good. I don't know if it'd be something I'd put like at the top of a recommendation though.
Yeah, I mean that's true. I don't know, like some of these samurai animes are just really good. This one and there's another one that got kind of hate for no reason. I forget what it's called. But that was really good. I mean, I think it is good. Um, of course, there's so many animes I'd recommend above it, but actually, I think I would recommend it at some point. Like if someone was at that point, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, I'd
Yeah,
recommend
at some
all
point
of
for
these
sure.
first. I do very much enjoy it. Coming down later, Shangri-La Frontier, Sundays, they both drop. I look forward to both of them. I really, I do enjoy it,
Heck
but
yeah.
yeah. And then what's this anime? I don't know this one. A lot of
Is
these I
this
don't know or haven't seen.
is this Samurai Champloo?
As we're speaking of
Is
samurai
this Samurai
animes.
Champloo? All right, so fair enough. We both can take a verbal lashing. I haven't seen Samurai Champloo either, but
Just put it in
I
never
would I would
seen.
assume it to be S tier or A tier. I mean, it's like one of the classics, but yeah, never seen it. Shame.
We'll see. We'll see
I've
what
only ever heard great things about it.
the community says afterwards. And then this one is Seraph of the End. I
I've never
think.
seen Seraph at the end.
Yeah, but I would just put it in never seen. There we go. Soul Eater. I hear that Soul Eater is very very good. I hear it's in the same universe as Fire Force, but I've just never seen it. It is on my watch list, and I will eventually see it or watch it.
I've only ever watched a couple episodes. I never got all the way into it, but I think it's a prequel to Fire Force. It's in the same world. I want to say like the art and like character drip, like their outfits, all top tier. Really, really super cool, super unique. I've never seen anything like it. So I would rate it extremely highly from what I know. I've just never seen it front to back. So
Got it.
I wouldn't be able to say. But kind of tying in like multiple worlds is very hard to do. But like tying that in with Fire Force, I think that's super sick.
And people speak
It
highly of
makes
it.
me want to
Yeah.
go through it. Yeah, for sure.
And then what is this one?
Oh, dude, Saiki K.
Have you seen this one?
I haven't watched it all the way through, but I've seen most of it. So he's like super OP, like brutally high IQ, brutal hacks, like the most OP dude out there. It is pretty good. It's comedic. There's some good action in there, but I don't know. I guess you kind of get maybe tired of like the brokenness of like an OP main character. I don't know
So,
that.
what are you thinking then? What are you thinking?
I don't know. My a couple of my friends really love it. I never like fell in love with it.
To C tier?
But see, I think it would be better than, it's definitely better than those three. I put it behind Mob Psycho in
I
front
love
of
that.
Fairy Tale.
Got it. I'll trust your judgment on this one. And then this one is Something Neverland.
Promised Neverland?
Promise Neverland. That's what it is. I watched this with that one friend, and after like half an episode, I got punched and told I wasn't allowed to watch it anymore because I guessed that the one woman was that kid's mom. I was like, "Is that like the mom?" She's like, "How'd you know that, asshole? Like, how'd you like they look? They have the same hair. I don't know." So
Yeah.
it seemed I've seen very very little. Like I said, like an episode and a half, maybe like half an episode. It seemed very good, but everyone's saying it's one of those animes
Mhm.
where the season two is just absolutely awful. So the season one goated, season two, which is why a lot of people are very disappointed in this.
Okay. Yeah, I've never seen it. I've had it recommended by one friend, but it's always tough when you're excited for like a season 2 or 3 and it comes up short, doesn't meet expectations.
So I'm
I
actually
would
gonna
like to
put
know
this
though.
in C tier then behind Noragami because here's the thing, like from what I've seen from season one, I bet season one if I watch it completely, and I am gonna go back and watch season one, and I'm gonna watch season two because you know what? If a season one's that good, then let's just bite the bullet and just watch a shitty season. You know what I mean? Um,
Dude, oh yeah, absolutely.
it is just it is what it is. So I'm gonna put it behind Noragami because I know that if we watch a season one, it would probably be decently highly rated, whether it's gonna be an A or B. But so we're just gonna throw it in C just because that second season is kind of rough, and I feel like this is where it would generally be anyways if we watch both seasons. Um, And then there's only a couple more that I haven't seen, but then I know a lot of these, so I don't know this one. Do you know what this one
Seven
is?
Deadly Sins.
Oh, this is Seven Deadly Sins. I hear so many things about it.
I've seen a million clips on Instagram.
Yeah.
I've never watched it all the way through, but it looks really, really good. Like there's a lot of cool characters. I'm
putting
not
it in
quite
never
sure
seen,
what.
but yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the premise is overall, like what the goal is, but um, I was a big Dante's Inferno fan, the video game and the not like the actual book. So like anytime you're using like the sins or any kind of like religious like visualization of that stuff, I always find that to be cool, and I feel like it hits pretty good. So I can't imagine whatever villains they're coming up with. I'd imagine they're pretty sick.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
feel
never
bad that we
seen,
haven't
unfortunately.
seen some of these. Some of these will probably be very highly rated. But we have Tokyo Revengers next. For me personally, I'm going to put this, in my opinion, at the back of B.
Back of B. I'm cool with that.
Like,
That's a very good. That's a very good placement.
I just don't know where to put it, in the very back or in front of Fairy Tail. I'm going to put it in the very back because I would probably still like. I still watch Fairy Tail, but I am
Hmm.
not looking to watch Tokyo Revengers anymore. We talked about this before we started recording. Tokyo Revengers is like pretty solid, but it's so aggravating, kind of seeing them always go into the past, make all these changes, go back to the future, nothing changes. It's kind of just redundant. It's just like seeing the same thing and just having no progress each and every time. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like you need to see the ending for it to be fulfilling. But how long is that ending going to be until it comes? And having someone kind of just go into the
Yeah.
past, you know what I mean, when they know everything that's going to happen, it doesn't make that like character development or the things that they do all that kind of special because it's kind of like easier. You know what I mean? You know what's going to happen, you know what you need to do, and it's just going and doing it. You know what I mean? It's not like it's always easier to do things the second time than the first time. So like it's not like you're going to like give them all these props and be like, "Oh, good job, man," because it's like you're kind of cheating. So that's why it's just back at B. It's pretty solid. It has a fan base that absolutely loves it. I think it is the absolute coolest thing that this guy who made it was actually a Tokyo gangster, and this is pretty much just his life story. That is sick.
Yeah.
It does have its
Very
very
cool.
cool moments. Like what was it? Was his name Happy or Angry? I don't know. When the kid stopped crying and
Yeah.
just went off, like it's sick. It has awesome action scenes, awesome little moments. It's just the story itself is just what kind of is tough, in my
I love
opinion.
a lot of the characters. Like Chifuyu's cool. Everybody likes Mikey and
Yeah.
Ken. Um, like the villains are really good. I guess it's like Mikey's adopted brother.
Is
I
the
want to
new
say like
villain? Yeah.
yeah, Zana or whatever. He's cool. Like there's a lot of great characters. My biggest my biggest complaint I would say is probably Takamichi is probably the softest MC of all time. Like you were saying, he goes back to the past, but he never really grows. I feel like the only thing he really gets good at is taking like a beating
Yeah,
and
he's
not
a
getting like
good
knocked
punching
out.
bag. Which is why I kind of like him.
Yeah,
I kind of like how you just keep taking those beatings and keep standing strong, you know, and hyping the boys up. But at the same time, it's like, dude, learn how to fucking fight. Like, come on. Like,
yeah.
get stronger, man.
And after getting your ass kicked enough times, you think you'd learn a trick or two, and like you got like the most badass fucking friends. Like
Yeah.
he was the most frustrating part for me. Not terrible, and like you said, it's got a really good fan base, but I'm not a fan of Takamichi.
Yeah, and again, we're going to do constant reminders. All these animes are good. Like, if you watch this anime,
I
there's a
would
good
never tell
chance you're
somebody
going to like
not to
it.
watch it.
Exactly. I'm not gonna tell anybody
Yeah,
not to watch it, but like I might not recommend it. Or if someone I think would like it, would kind of like the gangster kind of vibe from animes, yeah, I would recommend that. So like I said, all these animes are good. We're just like really breaking them down. Um, and then these next three I haven't seen, but other than that, I'm good.
I haven't seen Trigun. I think there was a remake. Don't quote me on that. Um, and I heard it was not done the best,
But
so
you
I didn't check it out.
have you not seen the original though?
I haven't.
I
No,
just put it in never seen.
it's a classic. I mean, I hear a lot of good things about it, but definitely something I got to check out eventually.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh, I believe this is.
So I just actually went back and watched a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh
Oh,
to see like how my memory stood up. I really did like it. I think the ending is pretty corny. Yugi is not outdueling the Pharaoh, bro, on any planet.
I
That
don't
was
know
a
what that
pity.
means.
That was a pity. So like like the dude Yugi turns into, like the older version of him, the Pharaoh.
No, I
So
don't know
he's like
anything about
the
Yu-Gi-Oh.
so like on the cover there, he's the Pharaoh's the guy in the back, and Yugi's the little kid in the front.
Got it.
So like when he duels people, he'll like turn into this persona, and they're like Egyptian kings and pharaohs, and they all have like ancient Egyptian artifacts that they're dueling with that have powers.
Okay.
A little confusing, but like Yugi is not out dueling the Pharaoh, bro. No way. I forget what his name is. He has like a very short, simple name, the Pharaoh. But overall, there's so many good characters. Yu-Gi-Oh was a pretty good game. I can dozens of times me and the boys would get our Yu-Gi-Oh cards taken away in elementary school. He'd be like devastated. Anime wise, I wouldn't go too high. Maybe I put it ahead of Tokyo Revengers.
And behind Fairy Tail?
Definitely. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay. Okay, I trust you on that. And
There's
this is okay, go ahead. My bad.
Like, I don't think the animation ever gets real crazy either. It's a little bit older, but solid. You know what I mean? I think it had its time and place.
It doesn't seem like it has the biggest fan base, but the fan base it has, of course, is solid.
Mm-hmm.
So this is YuYu, right?
YuYu Hakusho, dude.
It is on my list. I watched the first episode and I haven't watched anything else since, but I want to watch more of it. I hear a lot of good things.
So like looking.
Seems like a classic.
I would go either the very blast one in God tier or ahead of Naruto in S tier, because I feel like
shit, like that high. I thought like the pause was gonna be like B tier. See, I was like it hits. It's I gotta watch it
really
tonight.
Good. I don't know how many episodes there are. I want to say like 60 till the end of the Dark Tournament. Villains are badass. Like Toguro is a classic for me. I love TA and Yusuke. Yusuke's like such a knucklehead, does a lot of like naughty shit that I thought was funny. I don't know. I would just say watch it. I think it's a classic.
I put it at the end of God tier because, like I said, it does seem to be that classic that people like reference a lot. Seems to be very good. So I think having it up at that top pedestal is deserved. Like I said, I'm going to be watching it because I see a lot of people like kind of talk about it. That's like the thing we kind of see nowadays, which is going to get worse and worse and worse. Is that like you have the old school anime watchers who have been around and now kind of criticizing the newer watchers, like, oh, you're a fake fan kind of thing, and they're like, oh, you don't even know YuYu, like just say that, you know what I mean? Just because I think that there are animes that like if you're getting into anime, like you need to watch, like you need to understand where anime came from, to appreciate where it's gone or where it's going. So this is definitely something where I see a lot of the older anime watchers in the OGs reference and they say high things about it. So I'm always going to trust those people, and it seems like it's a very cool anime, and yeah, you gotta watch. So it's on my list. It's gonna be one of the next ones I kind of watch, but like in pieces. I'm not gonna binge it because there's a lot of like smaller animes that are also very good. Like we were talking before with like Another and was it Deadman's Wonderland. So
that would be cool.
So yeah, next one is Tokyo Ghoul. I loved this anime, but I also watched it in the best way possible.
I haven't watched. That is at the very top of the list. I'll be watching that next. I got flamed up by my twin brother. That's like his favorite anime. So he was like, next time, I'll probably watch it before I go back to hang out with him, but it's definitely at the top of the list. Like I know some stuff, but I'm trying to like forget it. You know what I mean? Pretend I've never even heard of it, because I really do want to watch it, and I've heard the negatives about it, but obviously it's well worth the watch, and it's a timeless anime.
Yeah, and hearing the negatives about it isn't bad, because that's why I loved, like, if I was gonna just grade Tokyo Ghoul based off of my experience with it, I'd honestly put it at the back of S. But I can't do that, because the thing is I saw so many clips about it. Like, he was like, oh, it looks so sick, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna watch it. Season 1, one of the best seasons ever. Season 2, honestly, still pretty insane. I really, really, really enjoyed it, but I knew that Season 3 is when things just aren't good. That's where, like, they start leaving out a lot of information at the end of Season 2, beginning of Season 3, where, like, it doesn't make any sense. I think Season 2, there's a lot missing that was in the manga, and that's why it was super confusing kind of for anime fans. or anime only watchers. So I kind of read what people were saying, which informed me on it. So I was a little bit more well informed in season 2, so it didn't wasn't as confusing to me. And then I skipped season 3. I didn't watch it at all, and I just instead read what someone gave the summary of what happens at the end of the manga. So that's, in my opinion, probably the best way to experience it. So if I'm going to go based only off the anime though, and we're gonna have that a little bit confusing season 2, but still very good, and the absolute shit season 3, it is probably going to be back of B.
Back of B. I got you. I'll be interested to try that.
You're gonna
That's
love
got to
it,
be one of the
dude.
next
Kaneki
ones I
is
watch.
sick. He's so amazing, dude. In season 1, like in the very beginning, he goes to that coffee shop. The coffee shop is so amazing. So many insanely good characters there. So many awesome moments. The fight scenes are insane. The opening is insane. Like everyone knows
Nice.
that one scene. We're not gonna talk about because I don't want to spoil it for you. But that one scene where he's captured and he's doing something very cool, and then it starts coming in. It starts fading in with the opening music, and you're just like, dude, this is awesome. Like, it is really so
Heck
good. Like I
yeah.
said, I'm gonna keep reiterating it. All these animes are so good. They're animes that, like, if you haven't watched anime, you should watch all of these at some point because they're all really good. We're just really breaking it down. Tokyo Ghoul is so awesome. It is one of my favorites, but again, that is just because I experienced it the right way. If I didn't kind
Heck
of
yeah.
get the additional notes in season 2 and I watched season 3 instead of reading it, I probably would be putting it here. But very good. Now we have Vinland Saga. This says season 2, but we're just going to count season 1 and season 2. What are your thoughts? Because I like it, but you were saying you're not the biggest fan.
I like it. Like I can see the potential, but a little slow in season 2. A little too much farming for me. But I think Thorfinn's a great character, and like
Yeah,
there's a lot of trauma and like a lot of places you can go with that and explore that. I think so. I will definitely be ready for a season 3, but I wasn't. I mean, I wasn't thrilled with season 2, but
yeah.
it's
I
still
mean,
good. You know what I mean? I wouldn't
yeah.
say don't watch season 3.
I mean, for me, like when it comes to anime, like I'm a slut for the story, and Thorfinn and Vinland Saga just has such an amazing story. Season 1 just had so much action, which was awesome, but then so much story and character building in season 2. I'd put this at the back, like not like very end, but like towards the end of tier A.
You're A. All right, I'm with that.
I just don't
Yeah,
know
definitely.
where.
I would put it ahead of Pokemon for sure. I feel like it's got a deeper story. Pokemon's just like pretty casual kids running around.
But it's ahead of My Hero Academia is the question.
Ah,
I don't think
for
yet.
me, I'm
No,
gonna
I don't
say
think yet.
no.
Just because of how
Not
many
yet. Yeah.
seasons My Hero Academia has had. You know, having that many seasons and having it be the way it is very impressive. When Vinland Saga has only had 2 seasons, like we need to see more. So
Yeah, agreed. I'm cool with that.
yeah, I'm cool with that too. Blue Exorcist. This is gonna be an interesting one. Have you seen Blue Exorcist?
I, I was told not to watch it,
Oh,
so
by
I've never
who?
seen it.
What for?
Uh, my brother and my friend, they just said they didn't like the ending, so I never watched it. I
The
don't. I
ending of
like literally
season
know
one.
nothing about it. I would assume so.
Okay, here's what I'll say. So, uh, again, terrible names. You know, flame me if you want, but I don't care. I believe the main character is Ren or Ren. Love him. He's my Discord profile picture. So cool. Season
Heck
one
yeah.
was bullshit. Season one like enrages me. No, because here's the problem. Season one was so good, right? It was amazing. The story's really cool. Like, you know, you have the Catholic Church, and like it's kind of badass because his stepdad is like this cool dude who's just like real punk rocker. He's got like he smokes a lot. And he's just kind of like fuck it, and you kind of realize like he's strong. Like he fucks shit up, but you end up really figuring out that Rian is the Satan's kid. Satan came to
Oh
Earth,
wow.
found love, had 2 kids. He's one of them, and Satan's known for his blue flames. Wolverine has blue flames, so it's pretty obvious to identify that he is Satan's kid. So he ends up hating his father. He wants to join the Exorcists and one day kill his dad or beat the shit out of him. So it's actually very cool. So the part that really sucks is that season one they got halfway through like 12 episodes, so they could have just ended the season. But they didn't. They caught up to the manga and they said, you know what? Let's freestyle the second half of the first season. So it
Yeah.
was so cool, so awesome. It was like sick. But then you start watching season 2 in the beginning, you're like, wait, what's going on? This doesn't make any sense. and then you're like, wait, none of that was canon. Like that's such bullshit because they did it at the worst possible part where people found out that he's Satan's kid, so everyone was pissed at him.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And now everyone's back being pissed at him in the beginning of season 2, and they're not really like made up by the end of season 2. So it's just kind of like we have to like relive something we already lived, and it's like so many big things happened at the end of season 1 that now don't exist, but also are now a spoiler for the future of the season of the series.
Hmm.
Because like something that happens again at the end of season 1, which I don't mind spoiling because it's not canon, which is bullshit. Rin is the only one who has Satan's powers. His twin brother never got the demon power, Satan's powers, um, but he is able to see demons. Well, at the end of season 1, he reignited his powers. Like he ignited them. He got them, and now they both have Satan's powers. And then they combine their powers and kick the shit out of Satan. It was like, oh, that's sick. But now we now know that he's eventually going to have powers. It's not just the one brother that has it. So that's something that was
Yeah.
always kind of a mystery. Chances are they do that, but now we know for sure because they've done it already when it doesn't exist now. So such a good anime, but the second half of season 1 is such bullshit. So because of that,
Okay.
I'm gonna have to say it's B tier, but I'm gonna have to say it's the head. Yeah, I'd put it at the top of B. Is where I'd honestly put it. I think it's a really, really good anime. It's got amazing fight scenes. His teacher, his female teacher, is interesting. Uh, she's the anime Poopa Sword Lady. She has a seal on
Oh
her
shit.
chest, so she actually pulls a sword from her chest as well. And I was like, dude, it's Raiden!
Dude, the OG Shogun.
Yeah.
Nice. That's super cool.
So, it does have a mommy and a little bit of fan service, but it is such a cool story. It's really funny. The action scenes are awesome, and it is a bit weird. It's a bit quirky, and I kind of like that in anime when it's done right. So I think it is
Yeah.
really good, which is why I'm going to put it at the beginning of B. I think, like, if you watch it, you'll really enjoy it, but, like, at the second half of season 1, just stop watching. Like, do not watch the second half of season 1, because there's, like, it's cool. It was really entertaining. I enjoyed it, but, like, when you realize that it's not real, it ruins it. So I feel like uh if they never had it, I'd actually put it towards the back end of A. But it's annoying. But
Mhm.
since if you haven't watched it, you can go watch it now, and you'll be like, I'm just gonna stop at that part, and you'll be sad and you'll love it. But next is Shangri-La Frontier.
Nah, definitely something I want to watch. It's got a lot of hype this season, so I'm
I'm
definitely
gonna
interested.
I'm gonna actually place this one a little low, just because it's only had one season. A lot of animes can come out, have that one season, and have it be good, but not as many can
Mhm.
have that season 2 and follow through with it. So since Shangri-La hasn't had a second season yet, and it's still in season 1, we're not gonna rate it as high as I kind of think it is. Also, I see a lot of people like kind of think that like new animes get rated a little too high because people get excited. It's new. I kind of agree, but at the same time, I think anime is just getting better. I think anime is like, when we look at this, how many animes are coming out this season, it's like, yo, we have like 10 that are absolute like 4.9, like 4.9 rated on Crunchyroll. Like 4.9 is not easy to get, and they're really, really good animes. So like, I feel like anime is getting better. Shangri-La Frontier is very good. I think it is very entertaining. I think the story is great. I think the aspect with video games is very cool because it's a normal high schooler playing with a pro gamer and a supermodel, and they don't really mention that at all. Like they don't care. It kind of just shows that hey, when you play video games, it's just you and the boys, or whoever your friends are. You know what I mean? It's not like you care about like, oh,
Yeah.
well, this person's a model, so I'm going to brag about that and talk about that, or what I mean? It doesn't matter. So they're all like really like they love trash games. They're all big time gamers. I think it is very enjoyable. I think a lot of people will like it. I'm gonna put it at the back of A behind Pokemon, just because we need to see more out of it. If it has a bad season
Mhm.
2, obviously it's going to drop. But if it has a good season 2 and it ends season 1 well, because season 1 isn't over, I could see this competing kind of right behind Demon Slayer.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I definitely gotta watch it. I'm excited.
Yeah, Rising of the Shield here. Actually, too, like, I'd even say Shangri-La Frontier. You know what? Just because the first season isn't even over yet, I'm actually going to put it at the top of B. I think that's a bit more fair. Right, because it
Yeah,
hasn't
that's
it
cool.
hasn't completed yet. So, Rising of the Shield Hero. Have you seen that?
I gotta finish the third season. I really enjoyed the first two seasons. I thought it was I kind of lost steam. You know what I mean? I
I
don't
think
think
that's
it.
everyone's complaint is the pacing becomes absolutely horrible.
Yeah, not that it's bad. Naofumi is pretty cool. I think he's like a good main character. Like, he figures out his like his powers pretty well. He's not
Yeah.
like a total idiot, or he's not like super broken. But just the pace of the story, I think, slowed down a little too much for me, especially after like the first whatever 2 seasons, I guess 24 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Like the end of that second season was felt a little slow, but I did enjoy it. I do plan to watch the third season, but overall decent. Nothing too crazy. A little too
Yeah.
slow for me.
I mean, I'm caught up. I really like it. I think it's good. I'm going to continue to watch it as it comes out, when the next season comes out. But I do agree with people that, like, season one was amazing. And then other than that, it starts to kind of fall off a little bit. Just like they're having trouble with the story, it seems like, with, like, how fast or slow to kind of pace it. Like, it seems like they lost that kind of speed. So where
Mhm.
would you put this? I'd actually put this at the top, like, towards the top of B. Or even in the
Um,
middle. I don't know.
yeah, I would go the middle. I like. I would put it behind Fairy Tale, around
Oh,
Fairy
that's at the
Tale,
end. That's at the end
because
of B.
I haven't really. I felt like mobs. I liked Mob and Psyche K better, but
Okay,
that's
I'm
just
putting it above
me.
Fairy Tale because I think it's
Like,
more mature and has a more mature story, which I like. It has a more serious story, which is cool.
yeah, yeah, and there's not like a ton of like fan service and stuff, which you can get that in Isekai. Like, it's not.
Yeah. Undead Unluck.
Haven't seen that. You've mentioned it before, but that's one I gotta watch.
This one is also, I don't know where to, like, put this though. I think the animation is pretty sick. The idea of it's kind of funny. It is interesting. The fight scenes are pretty badass because it is just like so broken. I don't know how to explain the story. I really don't. The story is like so complex and weird, but so fucking fascinating that this one, even though the first season is not done yet, I will put it at the end of A just because of uniqueness. I think everything
Which
about it.
creativity, that's huge. That always will
Yeah,
like pull me in. Like the science aspect of Doctor Stone, that would be enough for me to at least check it out. So I can definitely
exactly.
get down with that.
Like with Undead Unluck, trying to like somewhat explain it is like it's like a weird game that they play with a god or god. And pretty much there's this table with now 12 of them, and this book comes and it's like, okay, guys, you have these challenges to do. Now, based on completing the challenges, you can get certain rewards. If you lose the challenge, you have certain bad things that happen. So, for example, kind of a spoiler. Oh, also, each thing that they do, they have a number of like committee members that have to participate. So only committee members can participate, and only the certain amount obligated. So if they're like, hey, this task 4, so only committee members and only 4 of them can be a part of this task. Now they completed a task. So what ended up happening was is that the language on Earth got unified to English, or at least since I'm watching the English sub, they said English. So now everyone on Earth speaks English. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of thing.
Ugh.
It messes with the universe where it's like really insane. Where like illness never existed, but they lost a challenge, so now disease exists, and now people are dying from it and stuff. You know what I mean? It's like stuff like
Oh
that
wow.
where it's like super like cosmic and like very very interesting. Like yeah, I don't want to go too much into it, but it's like very bizarre, but it's very cool. Like the main character, there's two main characters. One of them's undead. What's so cool about that is that like he cuts off his fingers and he'll shoot them like bullets, and then it just regenerates. And it's just
It's
like
cool.
boom, and like that's also kind of how he like moves around. And then you have Unluck, who's the embodiment of unlucky. Like if you touch her, really bad things happen. Like he touched her because he wants like to get such a big amount of unlock that it kills him because he wants to die because he's lived for so long because he can't die. And a meteor dropped right on top of them. So like it is a really good anime, and it's like it's so hard to explain, but it is very good. Next one's
Heck
House
yeah.
Paradise.
I really liked Hell's Paradise. That was like a fresh anime for me, something I knew nothing about.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the animation and art style was gorgeous, really cool. Going from like a prison vibe to like that island with all the like flowers on it. Really beautiful settings. It'll be interesting to see how they flesh people out in season 2 and kind of like the aspect of like aura, I guess kind of like their power system.
What is it?
That'll be
It's the Tengen, but what is the? Is it just ten that thing is called? The
yeah,
godly
I think it
power.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, So it'll be cool to see how those characters kind of grow. And I would say my biggest hope is that Gabimaru like maintains his edge. Like I don't know what this backstory with his wife is or whatever, but obviously I think he's got feelings, or there will be feelings for the samurai woman who's like the officer watching over him,
You think?
or some kind of connection. Maybe not romantic feelings, but I definitely think they'll. I mean, she'll definitely try to get back with him in
Well,
season 2
You know what
because
I?
they got to return, I guess, from the island.
Well, yeah. So, but what I really like about that is kind of how what you said about that is that Gabimaru and that samurai woman that's like watching over him. They're the voice actors from Horimiya that play Miyamura and Hori.
Oh, no way! I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. So that's like really cool.
Well done. Damn, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Dude, that it weirded me out when I first started watching. I'm like, wait, this sounds so fucking familiar.
Dude, I gotta ship him now. I
Yeah,
love Tori Mia. That was
exactly.
great.
Now you want them
Good
to, but
stuff.
it's like, oh my god, he's got the wife though, and that's such a great story. But like, they're in another anime.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be interesting to see how they flesh some of that stuff out in season 2.
So season 2, they're not leaving the island. It's his old village is coming to the island. So his past is
shit,
catching up to him. So I think that the story is phenomenal.
Okay.
The characters are phenomenal because you're learning all the different backstories. You're really loving the prisoners, but also the guards. There's just so much like it is the better version of Vinland Saga, where you have something that is like Vinland Saga. We talked about it. Season 1 was all action, no character development. Season 2 was no action, all character development. Hell's Paradise is that perfect middle where you have a lot of trauma, you have a lot of stuff going on, a lot of character development and world building all going on while also having a ton of amazing action. It's the perfect balance. And I'm willing to grade it higher even though it's only had one season, just because season 2 looks like it's going to just be so much better than season 1 because we already have the ground set, the foundation is made, and now it is just getting insane. I feel like it's just going to take it up to another level.
I didn't know that was the premise for season 2. That'll definitely be sick. So the action should stay pretty high.
It should
There'll
get better.
definitely be some cool shit.
Because his village was known for having that kind of stuff, like the ninjutsu. So like they're like even like more like badass fighters, and 2 of them I think were kind of like his best friends or like people he was kind of like he knew from that village. So you have like 2 kind of antagonists kind of coming to the island that from his past, including a bunch of like soldiers. Because I'm pretty sure his village chief took that elixir, like he's immortal.
Oh shit,
So he's
that's
actually
right. They
been
do kind
there
of mention
and
that.
survived. So he knows how to get out of that island. So
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
It's going to be insane. I'd put this only because it's only had one season, right behind Demon Slayer. But I think that once it starts having more seasons, it's going to surpass Demon Slayer and even probably Jujutsu Kaisen.
I would probably put it somewhere in A. I think it's better than only one season though. Like trying not to be too recent, but like
Yeah.
the story I still think is deeper than something like Fire Force maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, I would put it anywhere in A. That's definitely fair, I think. I'm really looking forward to season 2. So
So I'd probably put it higher in A than you would. So the question is it better or worse than JoJo? Because it seems like the middle is going to be right around there. Or Assassination Classroom.
that's what I was trying to say. I guess I would personally say no, just based on the fact that JoJo's got like a lot of depth to it, and maybe Hell's Paradise doesn't have that. But Hell's Paradise action is better in my opinion, more fluid, better to watch, but it's also newer. So trying not to like be too recent. I guess I'd give JoJo the edge just out of respect.
Got it.
But like I could certainly see how you'd like that more than JoJo. You know what I mean? It's much.
Once that
more
second
satisfying to
season
watch.
comes, that's when it then comes to the top of A kind of thing.
Hell yeah.
If it can deliver. And then the last one. We've been here for a while, boys, but last one, Blood Blockade Battlefront. You haven't seen this one, right?
Oh, nah. You said it was dope though. I'm interested to hear about it.
I'm gonna put it at the back of A.
Okay.
I'm gonna, you know what? I don't know if it's over or not. That's the thing. It's got 2 seasons. It's very good. It's very Gotham-like, which is cool. It's like that very bizarre city. So pretty much there's this event that happened in New York where 2 worlds collided. So New York is kind of like this dome where you can leave, you can come back. but New York is pretty much full of humans, but also all of these different monsters and aliens. Like the survival rate is very low in this place. There's constantly having these aliens attack and these big monsters and like Godzilla, like all this stuff. And he's a part of the secret organization that stops that. So it's very kind of cool with the kind of like powers. It's very like quirky and weird, but it's like very cool. It's like very awesome. Like he has these god eyes, so like he's just a normal human, but he has God's eyes, so he has all these powers. He can see all this different stuff, and like his visual senses are insane. Like what makes him so special is that he can see the monsters' names, and if his leader Klaus, if he has the name, he can seal them. So it doesn't matter how strong someone is. That's why he's so important to this organization. I thought it was very, very good. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was super funny, super quirky. I can see how some people wouldn't like it, so I'll put it at the very top of B.
Okay, heck yeah, that's definitely something I want to watch too.
Yeah, it was very, very good. Like I said, guys, all these animes are very good. That's what I'm saying. Something very, very good, like Blood Blockade Battlefront, which I recently watched, is at the top of B, and it's still something I'd speak highly of and even recommend. So here's our list. It's pretty big. We're gonna go look at the
Heck
community
yeah.
rankings in a second, but our tiers are different because we changed them, and we also added a couple animes at the end there. So those animes will not be on the community ranking. So it's not gonna be the exact same, but I think we did pretty good. Would you move anything around? Now we're looking at the bigger picture.
The only thing I'm like, I kind of feel guilty about is Bleach and Attack on Titan. I would probably put
I don't feel
them
guilty at all. Fuck Attack on Titan, if I'm being honest. where
like
would you where would you put
Bleach is
them?
so like Bleach is more personal to me, even though like I feel like I would be a psycho if I was like, yo, bro, you need to watch like 800 episodes, but only about
Yeah,
300 of them really matter.
yeah.
And like Attack on Titan is really good, but I just didn't maybe fall in love with it that deep. I would put them above Pokemon in A.
You'd put them on an A,
Trying to be like subjective, I guess.
dude. That's tough.
That would be the only thing I would change, I think.
No, but is that being subjective, or is that just being like a lot of people love it, so let's just throw it up there? Because I personally would watch all of these animes before I'd watch these two, like 100%. I haven't seen Bleach, so I can't speak on that. But like Attack on Titan, I'd completely recommend and watch like Blue Exorcist, Shangri-La Frontier, Blood Battlefront, Blockade Battlefront, Vinland Saga. I'd watch all of them, recommend all of them before I would Attack on Titan. And like,
Yeah, and
like
like even Bleach, like I know the work that goes into it. As somebody who loves One Piece, One Piece was easier to get through than Bleach for me, just because Bleach had so much like irrelevancy through like there's like whole arcs of like filler, which was like
the
pretty
wiggle
hard to get
room
through.
where I can agree with you is when it comes to Bleach. Like when it comes to Attack on Titan, I think Attack on Titan is rightly placed if you ignore the hype. But like with Bleach, I haven't seen it, and it is one of the big three. So like if you wanted to move that higher, I could see that, and it just let me know where, and I'll put it there. But that's completely up to you because I have
Yeah,
not seen it.
I guess I would put it in front of Pokemon.
Got it.
Although if like somebody were to disagree, I definitely could see why. I feel like Thousand Year Blood War is the best animation by far for it, which is like very recent. So that's like a negative, but I love Bleach. I think it would be daunting to try and sit through now, but definitely a classic.
Whoop. Uh, let's zoom out real quick so you guys can kind of see. Here is the tier list. Um, so yeah, should we Yeah, I agree with you. Bleach is one of the big three, so having it come up a little bit higher, I could definitely see. I will eventually watch it at some point, but yeah, should we see what the community rankings are? See what
Yeah, let's see
everyone
what
else
people
kind
are
of thinks.
saying.
View community
Yeah,
rank.
dude, the FMA love and all right. Some of these are dope.
Some of these are tough.
A lot of you were right. A lot of people haven't seen Yu Yu Hakusho and Inuyasha. I would have said those were like cult
That's
classics.
what I'm saying. It's the OGs that have really kind of seen them and spoke highly of them, and you can tell. I think that this is more someone who's watching newer.
Oh, oh my God! Fate Zero with Boruto and Samurai Champloo and E. That is devastating,
Yeah.
devastating. But you're right. It is mad confusing. It's like
No, no, no. See, here's the
it's
thing. Look at the animes though, because this is definitely like the newer. anime watcher because Hunter x Hunter is kind of like the newer version of everything. Like One Piece being number one,
Hmm.
that's not someone that I feel like who's been watching anime for a while would put at number one. That's someone who just started watching. It's like, oh my god, One Piece is the thing. Like One Piece is the greatest. You know what I
If
mean?
you've been suffering for 25 years, episode to episode, not only do I think you have a severe issue, an underlying issue, but like, there's no way you'd be like, yeah, this has been the best anime for 25 years. And I love One Piece, but I watched it over the pandemic when everybody was locked down. So I literally had nothing but time, which made
Yeah,
it much easier to digest, I think.
yeah, but also it's like with Full Metal Alchemist, that's another one where it's like people just very like talk about a lot. So like I feel like
Hmm.
those two are like very like newbie animes. Hunter x Hunter being at the top there, like again, kind of a newbie anime. Mob Psycho, that's a big anime that came out recently. These are all kind of like, but Assassination Classroom being that high was a bit of a surprise. But like these seem like, I don't
Love it.
know.
I'm glad to see that up there. Like Pokemon at Sea, I think has a lot of cultural relevance, but the anime is like pretty casual. I mean, honestly, Ash wins like the Orange Island title,
Yeah,
but he doesn't win the Pokemon like league championship in any of the places he goes until the very end, like after a 22-year run. It's
yeah.
bullshit. I want to see Ash win. You know what I mean? He's like the MC. So I would disagree with that, but
I feel
that's
like a
that's a
lot of
tough.
these people are just like animation sluts. Because you see a lot of great
Yeah,
animes
that's
down here that like maybe not have the best animation that should be higher. Because that's what this looks like. It kind of looks like the newer, kind of going to the older, with little differences. But like, dude, yeah, I'm surprised by this list. I think a lot of these were disrespected, like big time.
I think like stuff like Jujutsu Kaisen as a avid manga reader, I think that'll fall. People will get pissed at the way it plays out, but it's really interesting to see like where we agree with people. Like Tokyo Revengers at the bottom of D. Like
What doesn't make sense
definitely
to
with you on that.
me is that like
I
the
don't know.
like what were we saying?
Like some of these, it's like yeah, really surprising. Like I guess I would have thought Yu Yu Hakusho would have been more popular.
Yeah, like you look at the top and like Assassination Classroom like doesn't like fit in there. That's why I'm surprised it's up there. Like if you're going off of a trend,
Yeah,
like this is a clear theme: A, S, and S plus, and then Assassination Classroom's up there, which like I again don't disagree with, but I just feel like it's weird given the theme. I feel like not a lot of people would watch it, especially because IU or Haiku, I don't fucking know, is so low, which is a tragedy. My Hero Academia is pretty low, which I thought was surprising. Doctor Stone, like I said, I don't think Doctor Stone or um, what's it called? Whereas Bungo Stray Dogs got the love that it should. Like obviously, I think that these need more attention, and they just don't have that attention. This kind of proves it. Um, but yeah,
where's
very
Bungo? Like,
interesting.
D. Wow.
Yeah,
Gintama D. Like Gintama's like a weird show because like it is really good for what it is, but nobody is ever like my favorite anime is Gintama. So like I guess I could see how you put it in D, but like it's a better show than that.
yeah. I feel like
It's just funny seeing how like some of these lay out.
I feel like a lot of people like it that I've watched it.
It's just funny. It's crazy.
So this is the uh like the average. So it's not like so that's why we could be seeing some weird stuff.
I'm glad there's some love for One Piece and FMA Brotherhood. That's cool to see.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just like surprised by some of these. This is weird.
Yeah, for sure.
Naruto being disrespected doesn't surprise me. It does seem like it has a lot of haters for like no reason.
There's a lot of fillers and the fillers are like pretty bad.
Again,
But
Naruto doesn't have the blind hype that One Piece does. Not saying that One Piece is not like great.
yeah.
Like it is very great, but like I feel like it is just like a lot of blind like you like a lot like there's a good amount of the community or the fan base that likes One Piece because liking One Piece is cool.
It's like I like the world building, but there's a lot. It's a slog. The first like couple hundred episodes are really tough to get through because like you're getting a crew together and like Luffy doesn't really learn any abilities until yeah like 200-300 episodes in.
Yeah. All right, but this is interesting. Everyone has their own opinions, but pretty solid. Not
Yes,
too bad.
absolutely.
I don't think we did too bad.
Yeah, agreed. It's cool seeing like how you feel and how other people feel. Like ranking stuff, but at the end of the day, like I would never tell somebody not to watch it, which I have and like has been done to me. But after seeing this list, it's like I would just tell people, if you're interested, if you have an inkling that you want to watch something, watch it. There's a reason
Exactly.
you're interested.
Yeah, like we were saying before, like all of these animes are great. They're all really good. We're just kind of breaking down good animes, and that's why we took away some of the tiers because it's not, we can't justify putting something in a D or an E tier. Um, like I still enjoyed Noragami and Promised Neverland the little bit
Hmm.
I saw. Like a lot of in B. I again look forward to for Rurouni Kenshin every single week, but it's in B. Like all these are great. If you like it, if you seem interested in any of these animes, like watch them because they are very good.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it. Maybe we'll be coming out with some more tier lists pretty soon. There's a lot to kind of grade and kind of do. So if you did enjoy our tier list and somehow you stuck around to the very end, this is a meaty video. We hope you enjoyed. And if you want to see more of these tier lists, let us know. And if you have any recommendations of which tier list you want to see next, again, let us know in the comments down below. Where'd you agree with us? Where'd you disagree? We'd love to hear it. But I think that's it. Blake, you got anything else?
Yeah, thanks for hanging. And if you got any animes that we're sleeping on in the not seen list, definitely let us know which ones we should check out first.
Yo, facts. That is absolutely true. But that is it, guys, and peace.
Peace.